Breezy. I don't know. A breath of fresh air.
Here, breezy. Happy lives.
Keep it a fresher breath air.
Give it a fresher breast air.
Breast air. Jesus.
No, what is it? That's what it is. A fresher breast air. When yeah.
What's what are you going on
I heard
about?
it somewhere.
We
I heard
we
it
we I
somewhere.
stuffed up when we did the thing. I think it was, and I said a fresher breath air, and it's been that ever since.
Hmm.
Oh, how have the turns table?
How the turntables?
Oh, how the turns have tabled.
On the table. Wow. That's a meme.
All right.
Fuck's sake. I don't do memes, but
Splish,
that was
splish,
fucking
splash. I was taking a bath.
taking back.
You chopping on some licorice?
Nope.
Nope. Or do you know what you should
Well,
be? I was gonna say, do you know what you should be
well,
chomping on? Do you know what you should be chomping on, Jim?
a Beardy.
The Beardy Birds podcast. Oh, what a weird! It's been a weird week. So,
Right?
what's up, beardies and beardheads? Welcome back for another episode. Welcome back to another episode. It's my brain is rattled, condavled, and upside
It's an
inside
episode
out.
like this.
And just flip us upside
Hey, we'll
down,
keep
so it
you
looks like we're
fucking
hanging
back.
upside down. Make it look like
You
we're
can
hanging upside
rotate.
down.
You can
Yeah.
rotate your camera though.
I can mostly do it, but I could just do it, edit, and just look like we're hanging upside down. It's like, hey guys, we're here, just hanging, just swinging, just do that thing. It's like, give me a
Oh,
second.
God.
Oh god,
Go like that. Go like that. Just.
give me a second. I'll be back around with you in a moment.
But you can see your chair.
Yeah, but imagine being like that scene from
Just,
Thor,
back and forth. Just.
that scene from Thor Ragnarok where was it Ragnarok?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's just freaking tied up, and he's just like, oh, I'll be back with you in a moment.
You just.
I'll come back around. Sorry, give us another
I hate
second.
forgetting about that.
It's just like,
He kicks ass after that.
Oh,
Kicks ass.
such a good classic. Oh, my screen's gone dark.
Right? I kind of want to watch that again though.
Oh, it's so easy to watch. It's just so
I've already
good.
watched it like 3 times, and
Yeah, something
it's
like
so
that.
good.
It's always so good. So good. So, yeah, I guess it's been a weird week.
Heard of Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi's so good.
Or
You haven't-
Shang.
Shang.
Remember
So-
his name? Shang.
Someone called it Shang-Chai. And I'm like, what?
How do you
Shang-Chai.
get chai?
It's like, chai is C-H-A-I. That's chai. But C-H-I? Like, how do you get chai from that? It's chi.
It's chi. Chi.
Cheese.
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi. She. Oh man, what a
I was gonna do that as well.
what a
but
week
no.
though. What a week though. It's for me. I don't think I covered it in the last few episodes, but it's basically week 4 for me of my back pain. My back's been fucked, and I can't even remember if I mentioned it, but yeah, week 4 now, into week 4.
You know what will help?
Some Shang-Chi.
A bit nah.
The Beardy Birds podcast.
You get one of those rollers that you just roll on your back on.
Oh. At times I've had Jack, like, we get I'll call Jack in and get him to walk over my back and be like,
Crack, crack, crack.
feels so good though. But it can be pretty painful at times. Like, it sucks to roll over in bed because I toss and turn at least every 10 minutes in bed trying to get comfy. And trying to roll over, it's fucking painful trying to get my whole body to roll over. At one point, I sat up to get some water last night.
Oh,
And when I sat up and I was sitting there and I was starting to get a cramp in my leg from the pain, I felt like I was going to, like, almost black out. I was like, I got, like, dizzy and I was like, whoa, and I came back out of it. Like, I was just on the precipice of, like, just the verge of, like, blacking out because of the pain. I was like, jeez. Like, it
what
didn't...
do you do to it?
I don't know, like, it didn't feel sore. So, I don't know, like, I don't know if you ever have a pain where it doesn't feel that sore, but your body's just like, what the fuck? Like, like, you feel the difference. Like, it hurts. Yeah.
You probably pulled a muscle.
Yeah, it did something. So it's been like that now for 4 weeks now. And I'm like,
Like
fuck,
with your
so
hamstring. Oh, that's fine. No.
I gotta go do some physio next week coming. So
Ooh.
hopefully get some physio in there and find out what they might be able to do, what I can do. But I've been saying for ages I've been needing to get a massage, and then ever since I keep saying I need to get a massage, then this happened, and I'm like, fuck. And then I've been trying to need to get a massage because of this happened, and still haven't had a massage. Oh,
You know what that
bruh.
means? Go get a massage.
Gotta get that massage, man. Gotta get that
Uh-huh.
massage. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. So look after yourself, people.
Redonkulous.
Look after yourself. Otherwise, you're like me, almost passing out trying to get a bottle of water.
A bitty pro.
Trying to get yourself a insert Beardy Bros podcast.
Um, but that's
Oh,
crazy.
also, well, actually,
All for water.
all for water. All for water. A little plug for the merch. We have updated, oh, I have updated a few things. Jim doesn't really know what's going on with the merch. It just happens. Uh, um,
I just give a vague idea for some things, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it
yeah.
doesn't. Like this.
Well, exactly got
That
that.
happened.
So we readjusted some of the designs, so we got them and added some new things because they've added new features to the site. So if you ever want to head up over to the Redbubble, still head on over to the Redbubble, look up Beardy Bros podcast or search up PickleTube TV for the merch.
You
But we've
boy.
now got merch on the hats now. I've properly adjusted a lot of the designs, so they're now sitting on hats. I've readjusted some of the designs on mugs. For some reason, some of the stuff didn't save properly, or some stuff was, I don't know, it was weird. So I had to go through and readjust a lot
Wait,
of the designs.
we have mugs now?
So there's mugs on the site. There's like you can get mugs, you can get coffee cups, you can get all kinds of stuff on the website. Yeah, you get on
Give me a sec.
hats now. We got them. We got our like you can get that Beardy Bros Mario Beardy Bros on a mug.
Oh.
I think there's a mug and a travel mug. You get it on I think a clock as well. I think it's still up there. I'm not too sure,
Well,
but
I can
definitely
just
got on
have
the
my
hat.
teas in a.
Beardy Bros mug, yeah, cup or something.
Mm.
So yeah, so we got that merch on like a lot of things. I was trying to make my own mug at one point, but it didn't turn out the best. It's very
Oh,
yeah, it didn't look. I mean,
the
it's
one
kind
you
of cool.
made a month or so ago, right? Or
Yeah,
2 months.
yeah. It's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. So
It's usable. How's that?
yeah, yeah. So it's very interesting. I mean,
It's fairly consistent.
the strokes. Like when I try to paint the coating onto it, because I had to hand paint it because I didn't have spray sealant. It was a brush on sealant that you could use. Let's just say the texture makes it look like it is a beard. All
Wait, what?
the brush strokes because I had to brush it on, and so actually some of the brush hairs came off, and they're actually on the outside of the mug as well. So they're like in the sealant. So it's like there's brush hairs in it, and it's just all bumpy, so it looks like it's basically a beardy mug.
God dang it.
So
God dang it.
just did it for a laugh, just try and do something to seal it in, but yeah, it went completely different. So that's like
Beardy Bros podcast, and there's 5 things straight up.
you got five. There's 5 things. 5 things better than no things.
Only 5. What the fuck?
It depends if I put the tag on them, mate. They should. I think there's only a few. It should be the two of those. It should be the anniversary shirt,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't know. Also, was there any of the basic Beardy Bro stuff like you have?
I'm looking.
It's hot tea, hot tea.
Oh, I
It's,
found them.
you found them. Found more of the
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, so he's found more of the stuff there. I don't know if the sale stop as well. There was a 25% off of apparel as well. I don't know if that's still going or not.
Oh,
There was a yeah, it was up the other day. I don't know if it was for Black Friday or what it was, but I did drop the promo codes in the Discord and a few of our Discord servers and stuff like that, trying to
oh,
plug the promo for the merch. But I don't know if anyone saw it or
Black
not.
Friday. This Friday.
But
Coming. Not this one, but next
no,
one.
it's already happened. The one that's already been.
That's weird.
Yeah, we've had a lot of Black Friday sales start and everyone's been doing Black Friday sales since the Friday that's just passed.
Right?
Going for like
Yeah,
a week.
well, EB's on do it now. JB Hi-Fi's doing them now.
A lot of players have got sales on. Get some
I
pretty
mean,
cheap
the
games.
big ones won't happen until sometime next week, about midweek
I think so.
onwards.
Yeah,
So, if you want to get gifts in that,
they're week
you got
long
a few,
sales.
a few days.
Yes.
The best time to get them is right now.
Well, exactly. There's a lot of stuff going on. So there's things that are coming out. Like there's even the new Pokemon's dropped. So or not. I mean, kind of new, kind of not. So was it the Brilliant Diamond and Shiny Pearl? That Shining Pearl they dropped this
Shouldn't
week.
be
last week.
shiny diamond. Because pearls don't really shine. They
Brilliant Pearl.
Brilliant Pearl and Shiny Diamond. That makes more sense.
I don't know.
Shiny Pearl just sounds like a fucking. I
Shining
might put
Pearl.
it on body. Shiny Pearl.
I don't know. I have no idea. That's what they've done. So that's there. So they've dropped this week. So if you're into
I'm kind of
Pokemon, get
sick
your
of
hands on
these
those.
re-releases.
I'm really looking forward to the Legends of Arceus.
Yeah,
That's like a
that's
whole
not open
new,
world though.
huh?
It's not open.
Yeah, it's
Cool, it's
open
not
world.
open world.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
It's semi-open world, I think.
because it's meant to be like Breath of the Wild meets Pokemon.
But then they've seen actual gameplay and
They've, hmm.
yeah,
I mean,
the expectation went from here to here.
I mean, most of
So
those games anyway are
it is what
semi-open
it
world.
is.
Like most of those Pokemon games are semi-open world. You can only go so
Yeah, that
far.
was meant to be like a full-blown
Open.
do whatever the fuck you want
Hmm.
with Pokemon walking around and shit.
See how it goes when it still comes through. So
Well, it's not till next year.
yeah, got a while. So I'm
So
pretty keen for that. So, Pokemon, yeah, squee.
I was like all silent and
I know the audio can be weird sometimes. I don't know how it comes through
if you go
sometimes.
too high, like and then catch it.
I think the podcast gets it. We just don't. Sometimes we don't hear each other, but the podcast gets everything.
Oh fuck.
So
Oh.
it's
They get like ear blood. Fucking headphones.
like into a high
Headphones.
pitch. You're like, hey, fuck you. Like you like swear in like high pitch. You're like, ah. It's like so no one can hear. It's like, nah, I can still hear
Our opponent's just like
you.
he
Oh.
went there.
Well, there's been we can continue on from the bumpy ride that's been the GTA.
Oh yeah.
So that's been a bumpy ride.
Oh, they
Rockstar's
smoothed
now
out a bit.
they've smoothed some stuff out, so they're still aiming to fix the trilogy. Like they're not giving up on it completely. Like they're gonna still work on it and fix it and actually polish it and try and get it to what
Yeah, actual
their
them
expectations.
themselves, which
Yeah,
is
not leaving on grove shit games as like people like to call it. But people still like to blame Rockstar, but it's just like it wasn't
I
necessarily all
mean,
their
they
fault.
had a hand in it, but it's not all them.
It was all Grove Street, so
And 2K, I
2K
bet.
support. But no, so Rockstar's now taken it upon themselves to finally actually do it themselves and fix a lot of it
Cool
up.
part
So
is they said they're going to rework mechanics and everything, like everything. So character models, everything, maybe.
well, a lot got leaked out too of the AI rendering of the stuff that the AI had done, and people were just like, "What the fuck is this shit?" When you must like, there was that the donut shop one. Have you seen that one? When people were doing comparisons of the donut store. So it's
No.
like it's dough nuts or whatever it was. I can't remember what it was. Or whatever it is. But it's like the donut and it has actual nuts on the side of the on the roof as well. In the rendering of the thing, the nuts like a hexagonal nut. When it got re-rendered into another donut because of how it rendered the thing. So it actually wasn't no longer a nut. It was a perfect circle.
That's because of AI upscaling. You don't use it.
It just goes, oh, let's just do this and fills
What
in
you
where.
do, at least check it.
So it's
Like
like
some of
that's
that
funny.
text in there, you can't even read it.
It just made them worse because it's gone. Oh, let's just do this and just go and make them scribble. Doesn't even make them legible. It just makes them look like scribbles, like you would
Like I sent you
shortcut.
that taxi one, like the mobile was crisp.
Yeah.
This was horrible.
But what they've done, what Rockstar have come around, turned around and doing, which I can kind of make sense why, in the first place, taking them down was to try and boost sales of the original games. Like
No,
take,
that was because they did that to take out files, like the songs that weren't meant to be in there, stuff like that.
yeah, that's
Because
weird.
they're now gone.
Cause that's well, no, the original copies of games when they shut them down off this, like they took them down like the
Yeah.
week before or was it like a week or 2 weeks
That's
before?
so you couldn't buy them and play them.
Because they wanted
Well,
they
people
wanted
who had
to
them can, but
yeah. They just wanted to stop the sales. Well, they said it was to not confuse people, but it's like you can clearly see if you're buying the game which version you were getting.
they're not really in a trilogy though. They're all separate.
Yeah. So you could clearly know what you're buying, but they said originally it was to stop the confusion of people buying the wrong editions.
Yeah.
It was to boost the extra sales. Be like, well, we'll take these out of the picture. People can buy the trilogy and only focus on buying the trilogy. But now with all this happening, they've now put the original games back up online, and they're sticking to leaving them upline now. They're not worrying about taking them off again or whatever. So
You
at
I
least
did a
they're back
sneaky.
on. So hey,
I did a sneaky.
You did
I
a
was talking,
sneaky.
I was talking to Mules the other night,
Yeah,
last night, and no, when it was still off the servers, and
yeah.
I was like, you can still buy these, right? He's like, what? I go the GTA games.
Hmm.
I went to like a CD keys, and you can still buy them for like $10.
Oh, the old games.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what the funny thing is now? Meals better not buy the originals because now what Rockstar are doing, they're offering the original games
No,
for free.
he already owned them.
Oh, okay, because they're Rockstar's now offering because of the stuff up. They're giving out
Yep.
the original games for free on PC.
Yeah, they're already in your library when you if you've
Mm.
already
If you
or if
bought,
you purchase it, you still grab them.
yeah, if you purchase the trilogy, the
It
definitive
should just
edition
be
trilogy,
everyone should get it for that. Like not just people who owned it. Like they fucked up.
yeah.
They
Well, I
should just
mean,
put them out there.
they should verify. There should be a thing not just on PC. Yeah, like if you put it on console and stuff like that, be like, oh, okay,
I think they might be doing that, but it's not a free
it's
game
definitely a
because
PC thing at this stage through
Sony and
Rockstar.
Xbox and Microsoft have to take a cut from it, even though
Mm.
it's a free thing from them.
Yeah,
They're doing like $10 a sale or something,
mm.
or from Rockstar, and
but
so it might cost like
but I don't even think
probably
they've
ten
really had the
bucks.
decent original versions up on Xbox and stuff like that for ages. I don't think they've actually got them up
Yeah,
there.
they're on PS4 because I could buy them just
I
before they
think
went off.
PlayStation most probably. I've never seen them on Xbox. Never seen the original versions on Xbox. Like San Andreas had the port though. That was the annoying thing. Never seen
Yeah,
Vice City.
these were the original PS2 games.
Hmm. That's what I'm saying. I've never
Like
seen
the
the
ones that
original.
ran.
I've never seen the original Xbox One titles up on
Unless they got them back
Xbox,
up there.
so I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, definitely. Rockstar's offering through their Rockstar engine, which makes it easy too, being that they only put GTA 3, the GTA trilogy, up on
Mm.
their Rockstar engine. It makes sense to be easier to just go,
Yeah.
okay, well, anyone that had their account
Makes
that
you
shows
wonder
that we
that's why they did it, because every
purchased.
other game's on fucking Steam and Epic.
Hmm.
They
So
knew something was up.
I mean, it's easier to go through them too because then they're getting the money directly.
Mm.
Like there's
Yeah.
no middleman costs, no loop costs or anything like that. It's just straight to
Nope.
them. So
Hence why they can give it out free, the old trilogy.
well, that's like most of those companies do when they have partnerships. They can just give out free shit. Like Epic gives out
Yeah,
a lot of their
boy.
free games and stuff when they can because it's Epic. Like they own some of the games. They're like,
I
here,
mean,
you
they're
have
not the
this.
best games, but you're still getting games.
So, so at least that's that. At least that's something that's making up for it. So it's just like, well, here you bought this, well, you still get to keep this, but in apology,
Still,
you can
console
get the free
players,
copies
come on.
of original. Yeah.
Give us the originals.
I
Come on.
don't think there's many console players that really care about the originals.
I
That's the
do.
sad part.
I want to play them.
Yeah. I mean, I've got them. Like I own them a hard copy. So.
I had Vice City on PS3, but I don't know where the fuck that went.
Hmm.
It was
Visuals can be weird.
a silver case. It was fucking cool.
Oh yep. You had the shiny one.
Don't know where it went. Probably just,
I remember
don't-
that case. It was like a holographic kind of case.
Mm.
Looked really
Yeah.
cool. It was dope.
Yeah,
So I mean, at least they said they're going to keep working on the game as well. So
but
not
are they
giving
got to
up.
hold to their word though? Or are they just going to say, Because
No,
they
they'll-
promised a lot they're
They're
going to
going
do
to fix
with
a
it.
lot. They'll do it.
They promised like whole reworks and shit. Like, if they don't do it, that
We'll have to
comes
wait and
back
see.
on them.
So I'll eventually get that game. I might buy it still when it comes out. I might wait a little bit. Who knows? I mean, it depends if it depends if the physical is going to be a
That in a
limited
couple
release.
of weeks.
So I don't know if physical is going to be a limited release. What is? You know what I mean? Like, is it going to
Yeah.
be just a
It'll be-
batch
it'll
release
be-
or permanent?
It'd be permanent.
Not always. So that's the thing. Some games aren't always permanent releases.
No, this will. I reckon.
So even with all the backlash, I'm wondering if it's going to be a permanent.
They should lower the damn price.
Mm.
Because no one's paying like $100 a DV for it.
Well, the fact that it's going to drop brand new and no one's going to buy it, I can see it like most probably dropping price pretty quick.
Probably $10-20. It's not too bad.
I'll mostly wait.
Make
for
it
that.
about $50 here or something.
Wait till next year and pick it up. Wouldn't be a bad idea.
I'll get from JB. It's only $69.
Is it 69?
69? 69? Yeah.
I thought it was 79
69
something
or
like that.
79. Something.
Is it? I thought it was still up there
Something
in
like
price. I can't remember.
I don't know. Who knows?
So yeah,
No,
so
but it's cool. They promised to fix it. So
well, at
No,
least exactly. At least they're going to fix it.
another
Not gonna be
Cyberpunk.
like, at least they're not like, oh, we're not going to do nothing. At least they're going to try and fix it.
yeah.
At least it's not Cyberpunk where they're delaying their fucking fixes now. I don't know what's going on with Cyberpunk. They're just like delayed. They're like behind on their roadmap. Like their plan of
That's a
what they're
lot
gonna
bigger
do.
game to fix, though.
I know, but like their roadmap, they're like basically where they pinpoint stuff now. They're like a year behind their schedule now.
Yeah, because people keep breaking the games. Like, they just keep getting worse and worse.
People
Every
find
fucking week, there's something new broken.
so yeah, it's just like damn. So they're like really out of there. They're
Plus,
sort
how
of
many developers are there? Put the whole fucking team on it.
well, they were supposed to give it that free DLC, like the big free DLC, like months ago, and that's just not in the plan anymore. That's not even looking to maybe like next year, if that.
The
Like
next gen version is meant to be out this year.
they've scrapped. No,
They
that's
pushed
been
to next year.
yeah, that's been pushed back. They pushed that back a while
Better
back.
come out by now, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that. That's been pushed back to sometime next year.
Oh, speaking of pushback, did you see Saints Row been pushed from February to August?
Oh, really? They've delayed it.
Nearly a whole year we have to wait for that now. Like,
Half a year, yeah. 6 months.
Saints Row looks so good. And then, when we just say February was packed,
Makes sense.
they're like, yeah, but it was coming out the same day as Elden Ring. You don't want to compete with Elden
no,
Ring.
give it a few more workarounds too. Most probably, give it a few work touches here and there.
That plus Horizon in the same window.
So much
You
coming
don't want
out.
to release around them
You'd
at
struggle.
all.
You would struggle. I'll say related to with the old games as well. We were talking about earlier. Xbox is no longer adding to their backwards compatibility library. They've now
Which
done and
makes
dusted.
sense.
So they've done, like I said, me and Jim talked about this earlier outside of the podcast, and I mean it makes sense. They recently just added like 70+ games to the list already. The amount of
1,
games
2,
they
and
had
3's
before
in
that,
there.
like, hey,
Beer 1, 2, and 3's in there.
yes. I mean, I own those. I own those already. I went
What
hunting
was
them
it?
for
Yes.
years.
Yes. Like,
A
that's how
years.
passionate you are. Because
So-
Fear 1's so good.
Yeah, I ended up hunting those ages ago and bought them on
I've
disc.
got that
So
on PC and it's fucking trash. I always played better on console for some reason.
I know it's weird, but they're good games.
Ports to PC do not work back then. Like, they were horrendous. Like, I pressed the mouse, a second later it shot.
Don't know why it'd be so horrendous. I don't know why they
Like-
do things like that.
And the frame rate's like 10 frames a second, or 15.
It's so silly. But there's a lot of games though. So people, I was like, well, they've been doing backwards compatibility for a long time now. They've really been going at it for like the past 5-6 years or something like that. They've been adding
Yeah.
to it. Actually, even before that, because technically, if you were to count back in the 360 days, when they're doing backwards compatibility of games, so technically it's been even longer.
Yeah, that wasn't very a big thing there, though.
No, but they've technically been adding to the library.
That's like PlayStation,
long time.
PS3 played PS2, PS1, and then they just stopped that. I think it cost too much for them to make, but
It's a lot of
on
time.
the big fat PS3, that thing was huge.
Well, they got to convert the files and make sure it can upscale and all that shit.
You know, this thing's got to do with the publishers that want to make their own definitive editions. I bet you. Like, we don't want you to charge $10 for a back compat. We want to make it our own and sell it for $50 or more.
Well, I mean, it's definitely more on these older games because a lot of these games they're doing stuff that's like your old your PS1 games or your PS2 game. You know, your Xbox One, like the original Xbox and 360.
Yeah, I
games
don't
that
like the
released.
back compat. Like, it's still they're still janky.
Like that's exactly the original games. Like, there's no difference. That's why some try to want to.
I mean, it's
rework
just a
the
higher
games.
resolution and frame rate. That's it. They're still
Yeah.
janky to play.
It's just compatible, so you're not playing it like stretched. Imagine if they
Like,
didn't do any
I
work.
prefer a remake or a remaster than a whole rescale.
I mean, it cleans
this-
them up sometimes, and it does save time. Technically, it saves a lot of time because they just got to upscale it, so you're not playing 576p or less at like. Imagine if they kept it to that 576p stretched on a 4K screen. How shocking would that look? How
done that.
shocking would that look? Like, you know? Oof.
I've played like a Switch game on my TV. That was worse. That was bad. That was bad enough.
Depends on the game, yeah. So,
Oh well.
playing the Wii,
I mean,
whole Wii on the large screen is
I-
whack.
I just found it funny. I'm not throwing shit here, but all these Xbox people are like, oh, back compat, oh, Xbox is king. Sony's making their own right now.
Yeah, they're catching up on it now. Actually, well, they tried so many different iterations, and now they're
Yeah, but
actually.
Xbox are leaving. Sony's gonna go, heh, PS1, 2, 3, 4. You can play them,
Yeah, well, that's what they've been aiming at for a while now.
which I think they're going to be their own games as well, mate. Well, pretty much Sony did have all their own games back then.
Mm.
Like they had hands in everything.
Yeah.
Like back PS1,
Like they were
PS2.
actually, yeah, actually Sony developed, like, or published, like they were
Mm-hmm.
properly, not just like published by other studios, like they were
Like
published
even
by Sony.
third-party games like COD and that. I
They were
think
published
Sony
by
helped
Sony.
in some of them.
Mm.
So get into it.
So yeah, so that's gonna be the way it's going.
Also, I think Xbox are going to boycott Activision, which means no Activision games on the Xbox consoles.
Well, yeah, possibly with what's been going with Activision lately. So,
I'm like, why
uh,
would you want to cut them out completely?
it's
Like
just
that.
well, Activision's just gone toxic. Like well, they've always
Well, it's
been
just that
toxic.
Bobby Kotick, what the fuck his name
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say you got the thing on that, which I saw pop up recently was the
Why is he still there? How is he still not? How is he
no
not
idea.
fired?
But that's what I mean. That's why there was the thing where there was 150 staff are staging a walkout because they
Hmm?
want him fired. They want him gone, but he's still there. So whoever's these executives that are keeping him on are not
They're
voting
going
him
to
out.
lose a lot of employees if they don't kick him out.
So there'd be no point even for other like companies like Xbox to boycott Activision when there'd be no Activision left. They wouldn't even have to try and boycott them. They're just going to do themselves a dig a hole,
No,
and
but
they're
I
going to
was
be
thinking
no
my
longer
thing.
there.
They're going to sever the ties and then they're going to kick Bobby out and then it's
What's
like, oh,
what's the worst though? What's
we'll
worse
just like
though?
Activision and their biggest. They're like
Well,
the number one
no,
publisher in the fucking world.
kind of yeah. They've just got their monopoly. They've got a bunch of fingers and
Exactly,
shit.
like they're the biggest publisher. Like you parents
But
need them.
don't really need them. They just need to, but you know what I mean. But they could clean their act up.
Oh, you'd really Activision make a lot of shit.
Yeah, but we could also do without that shit.
Like Spyro and Crash and
They're not even going to happen again anyway.
COD
Remember?
and
CODs. We don't need any more CODs. We do
I
not need
do.
any more
I like my
CODs.
COD.
You don't need any more CODs. You don't.
That
How
last
many
campaign
times
was
do you play? You like, and
dope.
they're like, "This is shit. This is fucking crap, bullshit. Fucking get fucking
No,
rid of it."
Vanguard's good.
Yeah. And then it
Even
may be,
multiplayer is good
and
for
then it may be down
some
the track,
reason.
and then you'd be like, "Fuck Vanguard. Fuck this bullshit. They don't need it. Get rid of it. Get it
I
out
said
of
that
here."
everything.
But that's what I mean. Like, if COD,
platinumed it, like,
if COD is the one big thing that anyone keeps saying that's what Activision. Oh, it's COD. And what about anything else? Like,
that's plenty.
there is
can't
most of
think
it's
of
plenty,
anything.
but it's mainly COD.
There
But-
used to be Destiny.
Yeah, but they woke up. They woke up and left.
Just get rid of fucking Bobby and you'll be good.
But like, well, I mean, look at the stupid decisions they've made by absolving Vicarious Visions and fucking Toys for Bob into
And
their
whose
company.
fault would have that been? Probably
Like-
fucking Bobby's. Hey,
That's what I
you
mean.
can do this and this.
Fucking,
and
they
this
absolved
and...
these two companies. They're like, oh, we'll take these and put them into us, and then we'll get them to work on this stuff and no longer work on other things. And then guess what? Oh, now shit's hitting the fan. And so it's a waste of fucking time absolving these fucking companies.
I
They
like
could
with Activision though. They just were the
sub
separate.
companies. I know, but now they got absolved, and now they got
They're
to
in there
focus on
with
that shit.
Blizzard and Blizzard. I think
Ah.
it's them.
It's just dumb.
Which Blizzard are worst.
Yeah, they're just
Blizzard are
bad.
the scummiest fucking developers on the planet.
It's
Apparently.
just hilarious. You've got Blizzard over here with scummy bullshit. You got Activision over here. No wonder they partnered up years ago and worked so well together. Scum and scum. What do you get? You fucking more scum.
A dump.
Ah, shit pile.
A dumpster fire.
Oh, it just worked way too well. No wonder they partnered up so well. Makes sense now.
I feel
Seemed a
sorry
bit
for
odd.
for the developers. Like, I'm thinking why we're getting shit cods is because the higher ups are like, make it this way, make it
Yeah.
this way.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's what it'll be.
Like, I reckon if developers had their way, there'd be no pass. There'd be a lot more maps, more campaign than just a 5-hour fucking campaign.
Yeah. Well, remember, like, when they went to fucking Black Ops 4 was, Black Ops 4 was supposed to have a campaign. And they completely scratched it.
And the hedge went, nah.
It's
Put
just
a
all
fucking battle royale in
multiplayer.
there.
Just do multiplayer. Yeah, exactly. They
They
was just all
scratched
money.
it for a battle royale, like, yeah.
They took our campaign away.
I mean,
that
that's
was going to be
fun,
good. The
but-
concept of the campaign sounded amazing. Like, they had so much promises and it was going to be decent, and they're like, nah, scratch it.
Yep.
And then look what happened. Everyone complained, even though people played the multiplayer and loved the multiplayer, people still complained, like, you really just not give us a campaign.
They kind of cut short the Black Ops story until Cold War. Like,
And even
they
though it's
went from
completely
3 to
different,
Cold War.
makes no sense. Like, the narrative's completely different anyway. Like, I know Black Ops was in the future pretty much, but then they've gone way back in the past. Like, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah, because they couldn't continue the last thing because it got cut off, and they're like,
Yeah.
and they could have reused that maybe and just continued on.
It's
but...
just really dumb. It's just dumb. It's just
It
dumb.
is what it is. That's why I said Infinity Ward, make every
Um,
campaign. Do it.
that's like,
Get Treyarch, make every bit of zombies in every game.
mm,
Sledgehammer, make the multiplayer or
yeah,
help with the campaign and multiplayer. Like, come on.
exactly, exactly.
You got 3 teams. You got three whole
Actually,
fucking
get them to
probably
work on
like
each different thing.
a
We've said this
thousand
many
people or
times. We've
so.
said this many times before. Exactly. Get each team working on each individual part that they got at the best, and just get them to juice it out. Just
Don't
like
make it
work on it.
every year. Make it every two to
Yeah,
three.
make up the game's longevity just so like it keeps lasting, and then just keep making DLC for it.
If you make it 3
Actual.
years, you can do 2 CODs a generation. That's fucking plenty.
There's enough room for DLC if they want to get that little extra cash. They can squeeze a little bit of DLC in there.
Proper DLC too,
Like,
not battle pass. So, like I remember, like old Modern Warfare's and shit. That DLC was more maps and stuff. Back when COD was good.
I know it's just so weird now seeing that all games are have battle pass related. Like, imagine if we go back to no battle passes, how weird it will be because it's been so much battle passes now. It's just like what the fuck, like, oh.
The only pass I play with is Rocket League. That's the only game I play with a battle pass, really.
But I mean, that works. Some stuff it works in, and people just go, "Oh, well, this we can do this. We put it in everything." It's like no. That's what irked me with COD. It's just like first you're paying for the game, and then they're adding stuff on top of it, and then it's like you got to pay more again. It's like no, it should have been free. It should have been free.
Oh, yeah, because when I bought Rocket League, there was no battle pass.
Mm.
There's no rocket pass. It was just crates.
Yeah, you bought the crates. I remember that you just bought crates. You got random shit because you earned points while playing. You earned enough. You could buy the points, or you earned.
You can either get them from in game or just spend a few dollars and get
and
a
then
key.
you buy crates.
Mm.
And then to break that system, they end up giving you a battle pass because it was like you could actually see what you were getting when you got to
And
it.
it
Kind
was
of
free to play, so
thing. So,
that's what I mean. If it's free to play, then you have a battle
that's
pass.
the thing. We got the battle pass because that was their way of getting around legally the loot crate system. Like that was the thing because you see when we had the loot box systems.
Yeah, that's a lot different than a loot crate, though.
But that's when it happened though. As soon as they had the laws came in, they had to stop doing loot crates. They changed to battle passes. You still paid for it. You knew what you're getting. You paid for it.
Other than loot crates, you can't really monetize the game unless you keep selling constant things.
Like loot crates still exist, but they had to be free given. You didn't have to not pay for
No,
them.
you had to know what you were getting.
Well, because that's like
So-
the thing. Same thing with
And
like
that takes the
Rocket
fun
League.
out of it.
Like because Rocket League technically still has loot crates in them. They have the new drops, but you earn them from playing. You didn't. There's
Yeah.
no buying them involved.
Unless you get the golden ones and that, which are in events.
There are
which you
events,
get
but that's what I was saying.
points for,
It was
so-
the whole paying for things. It was basically the gamble. Like they didn't not
Hmm.
the didn't like the idea that kids were gambling because you're paying money because you didn't know
No,
what you were going
remember,
to get
you're
for the
not
lottery.
gambling.
Surprise
mechanics.
Surprise mechanics. Fuck the surprise mechanics. Oh my back.
I don't get how they got surprise mechanics. Like, who thought of that?
Funny joke. It just hit, didn't it? Surprise mechanics.
It was so
It's
serious
surprise.
too. Like,
I mean, technically they're not wrong. It is a surprise. You pay money for a surprise. It could be a good surprise or a really shit surprise. So you could get a piece of cheese for your character to hold, or it could be a hatchet that you could murder your enemies with. I don't know.
the only surprise is once a Kinder surprise.
Ah,
That chocolate is the best chocolate in the world, I think.
oh, is definitely indeed.
Why do they make that? Like, it's
The double
so
dip.
good.
Well, that's the same thing with this whole stuff, like things like that as well. So similar issue. I mean, because they've got out of Battle Pass as well, but earning XP was just horrendous in Halo. But they did a hot fix this week as well. After like not even a week after the main
It's been
beta
about
dropped.
3 days.
Like 3 days, they got into it and they adjusted it so
they-
that.
Or
Something like
they
that.
spoke about it, then they did it.
So basically, the only way you could earn XP was doing the challenges as you played, and it was like that's the only way. The only way you
Which-
get XP, besides getting XP boosters, which again it was still the same thing. It would just multiply your XP based on what you know from those challenges. So it was like, what the hell? Okay, you know. But then they've now made it
It
that
should have been kills and match XP. Like, that's how it.
So,
Halo's always been that way. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
yeah, well, that's exactly
Come
it
on.
for just general. Like you got points. That's how you points. Your points still can't technically stack up like that. Like in game, your actual score points stack up, but it doesn't translate over to XP. But now at this stage, they've updated so now every match you play counts as XP. So even if you don't do a challenge, that counts as XP. So every single game you play, XP, 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 XP. Realistically,
The
it
kills
should.
count though.
kills don't count unless you're doing challenges. Which though, a lot of the challenges that are based on kills. So it's like get
Well,
so many
people
kills
don't
with this
like
gun, get
doing
so many
that
kills
though
with that
for
gun, get so
XP.
many kills with that gun, get so many kills. That's what a lot of the XP challenges are doing challenges with the guns. So it's like use the assault rifle to get kills, use the pistol to get kills, use shotgun to
That's
get kills, and that's all
ridiculous.
they are. They're basically just that. So you are kind of burning those challenges at the same time as you go. Like they just keep flipping over. There's no limit. Like they just keep spawning more and more and more like consistently as you keep playing. There's no like not like Fortnite where I've done my weekly challenges for the day, for the week, or I've done my
Mm.
daily challenges. That's it. You got to wait till the next 24 hours for it. There's none of that. It's just consistently
I
spitting
mean,
through the kills, 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 kills.
343 are probably the masters at constant content. Like they always have a thing rolling over.
Yeah. So and I think they've adjusted the XP boosters as well because I think to balance with the game time. I've never had a booster, so I'm not too sure how it worked, but it's kind of like Rainbow Six because they had boosters. It's the same kind of concept where you get your
Packs.
multiplier. Yeah, you buy the packs and you get your multiplier and you can stack it on. So it's a bit like Call of Duty style of adding the XP boosters. It's kind of also like Rainbow
So
Six
you
Siege
activate
adding
it
the
for an
boosters.
hour, 2 hours.
Yeah, so you got your weapon XP boosters, which is I think mainly the challenges. You got your game booster XPs. A lot of the other problems too, I think, is there's a slight incentive is you gain. It's a bit dirty from I think how it works, but you technically gain more XP when you have a booster, so it's kind of being like pay to win almost.
Yeah,
Like
that's the
it's
thing.
realistically or not really winning. It's just leveling up. Like you're paying yourself to boost that leveling up.
We
Like
get
that's
better things.
because you got to level through the passes. So it's not
Yeah.
really pay to win. So I wouldn't even say it's that, but it's kind of pay to look cool. I
Pay
mean,
to advantage.
yeah. So that's the same with the stores. I got
I
all
don't
that.
know.
But the multiplayer though is like hitting the world by storm. Like everyone is
Halo.
impressed. Like everyone's impressed. Hey.
It's just Halo. Like,
Yeah. Oh no, it's more the fact that it's like people have been saying when they've been playing Halo Infinite's multiplayer, being like, I feel like I'm 11 again. I feel like I'm 12 when I first played Halo 1's multiplayer. Like people are actually feeling like it's actually real. And I've
three,
enjoyed
it
it.
looks like.
It looks and plays like that, but like you know what I mean. They're like it's like the first time when you first jumped into
Mm.
Halo multiplayer, and it just worked.
You're not dead every fucking second.
No. So
It has a long time to kill. Like
It has
you can
its-
be
yeah.
alive for like minutes at a
Yeah.
time, and
So it's done right again. Like it's not like how where it changed, where like Reach introduced the multiplayer, like Halo 4's multiplayer and Fire. Like that multiplayer got really, I guess, too fast paced. It started becoming like Call of Duty, where it's like boom, 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 boom. Like you die very easily all the time. Like this feels like you're playing like those games because if you ever played like if you ever play them in the Master Chief Collection, if you ever throw back and play like old school Halo and stuff in that, like you feel pretty durable again. Like you actually had to take hits and you could do like weird, and it does feel like that. Like it does feel like playing Halo 3
well,
and
except
Halo
for a
1.
punch in the back, you're just instantly dead.
Pretty much, yeah. So and that's exactly it. Like it kind of almost feels a little janky, like in the sense that it kind of feels nostalgia-y, like it feels like
Well,
you're
they
not
said the game's
fast.
going for Halo 1, so
Because you're not fast. Because it'd be like those moments where you'd run up to someone, and you know how in the other games where you could like assassinate, and they've got all that stuff out of it. From what I've seen, I don't think there's any assassinations in it.
wasn't
But
that in the original 3 though?
no, they didn't have assassinations. It was in later.
Oh. 'Cause I didn't play 4 or 5 multiplayer.
Yeah, they had in like Reach and 4 and 5 stuff like that. The assassinations, so they're out. So this Halo Infinite's more like I've been saying before. Feels more of a successor to Halo 3. It doesn't technically ignore 4 and 5, but it feels more of a successor story arc.
It's a continuation, but
3.
the feel of the original trilogy.
Yeah. So it's pretty good, and like I said, it's I've been enjoying the multiplayer when I've been able to play it. And it's been pretty solid. It feels some of the maps have points that it feels like I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm on this map again, and they've reimagined a lot of the older maps. Feels like they've just like taken that concept of like, well, this is what this version of this is on this ring is, or things like that. Where
Yeah,
they always
that's
had
the
that
Zeta ring they're on now. There's
'Cause-
Zeta.
yeah, I think yeah, something like that. It's pretty cool.
It's a broken ring too.
Because it's like
Being smashed.
if you remember the Blood Gulch, like if you look at like you remember like Halo 1, which was like that version of Blood Gulch, and then you had like the
Blood
Halo
Gulch,
2.
that little that's a tiny map when you look at it now.
Yeah, and then you had like the Halo 3 version, which was like had the underground side, had like the bunker, and you could fly the Banshee out of it. And I think it was Halo 2 or Halo 3. Like they changed it, but it was still
Isn't
the
that
same
in
kind
one
of
as
game.
well? Oh, it was just a flat.
No, it was just a flat land. There was like the Warthogs, and that was it. The Warthogs and tank, and that was it.
Oh yeah.
And then
Oh, the
2 or
Scorpion
3
in
had
the
the
middle.
Banshee Park down the bottom. So there's one of the maps which we were playing in Big Team Battle that felt like a new version of Valhalla. And I was like, oh my god, like this felt like
Is that
Valhalla,
how
but
that
like,
big green with the big towers?
yeah, the big towers on either side, and you just like they
Mm,
shot the beams up every now and then. You jumped across.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. There was one that felt like that, but bigger because it was Big Team Battle version. But
I
like
have
there was a lot
seen
more
that.
going
It was
on.
got that big screenshot from above and looking down at it.
Mm.
The
Like,
big, just this big green fucking map. Like,
yeah,
I like that
it's
looks familiar from
oh,
Halo 3.
that's what I mean. Like, there's so many maps that are similar to some of the maps. One of the maps I played on is like the desert map that had the pyramid in the middle, like that elongated pyramid. Do you remember that in Halo 3? Like that big, and you used to drive. You could jump in the elephant, which was that big truck, and you could drive it around slowly.
Oh, yeah, 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 the big fucking wasteland.
Yeah, yeah, that wasteland deserty one, which was in that little trapman area. There's a
I
there's
remember
a
getting a rocket launcher with it.
there's
Whatever the fuck that was.
I know that's what I
The
mean. Like,
grenade launcher.
and you had the little mongoose hidden in the elephant, and you like jump
Yeah.
on the thing and you shoot with it as well. And you always we don't after you realize that everyone realized you could drive it, everyone would jump in it, and you just drive it around slowly around the map, and then you'd see how many people you could run over with it.
I
even
sit
though
on top.
even though it's the most slowest thing in the turret, but there's
Right?
it's so good that all this, and then you see how many times you could like last around the outside when the mines were
The
going off.
original trilogy, nothing's ever gonna beat it.
Did you? I mean, remember that though too, because if you went out part of the map, there was like the mines would go off around the outside of the map.
Oh yeah.
And you used to drive out there. I used to drive out there in the Mongoose. We also
And then
you see how long
boom.
you could last. You could drive around, see how long you could last with those things shooting up.
Oh,
But
I miss Halo 3.
but one of these maps they've got it reminds me of that, but like a very newer high tech version of that because it's deserty and it has the center building in the middle, not like the pyramid like stone style, but it's like there's a high tech version. And it feels like that. It reminds me of that, but it's completely different. But it like takes idea from that like inspiration.
I reckon
Like,
they've done that. Like they've said, we want one of these, just make it,
what's
just
the other
tweak
one?
it.
Do you remember another map was? Do you remember the map Warlock? Do you remember that one, which had the four sides? It was a kind of like a squarish map, but it was segregated into four different sections. You had the tower in the middle, and it had like teleporters on each end, and you could jump across by jumping to the teleporters.
Fall Guys.
Do you remember? It was in Halo 1. I think they redid it in a few later.
Oh, were you in that?
And it had section
faci-
1,
in-
2, 3,
in
and
that
4.
facility?
Yeah, kind of like the facility, and it was called Warlock, and it had like the
They
base.
had those ramps to go up and round.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And it was a mirrored exact same spot. Like, it was exactly mirrored everywhere in every section.
Yeah, that made me just be confusing as fuck.
Because you're like, am I in section 1 or section 2? But it's like all the exact same thing. So they've
Hang
got...
on, let me Google Halo
Yeah,
Warlock.
yeah, look at that. Look up the map.
I think it is what I'm thinking.
Because they've done it so many different times. They've like always reimagined it, but always had that center platform in the middle, and everyone always said... Because it was a good King of the Hill map, because the flag would always spawn in the middle.
Warlock. Halo Alpha. Multiplayer Halo 2. Halopedia. What the fuck?
Yeah, it should be... Yeah, Warlock.
Oh, well, what the fuck is that map?
It had the base in the middle of the center
It's
of the
in
map.
the jungle on Halo 2.
Yeah, there's all these different versions of it.
It looks like a Quake map.
Yeah, it should be it. But yeah,
Wrong one. I want Halo Combat Evolved.
it had the teleporters on each end too, and you went through one and you spawned you on the opposite side, and had the ramps, and you used to be able to
I
go.
think I know what it is. Like it's in that. It's like metal facility. Like
Yeah, and it had the. It's exactly the same wherever you were. It was like the four different sides, and it's like 4-sided room, and it was all the exact same. Each side was the exact same. Had the
I
teleporter.
think I know what it is. I just haven't.
Had the
played
teleporter
in
at the bottom
fucking-
floor. Had a teleporter at the top floor, and you would teleport and you could jump sides, and it had the base in the middle. It had that little pad in the middle, like a double decker pad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a new rendition of that in the game as well. It's not exactly because there's 4 different sections. They're not exactly the same this time, but there's that square in the middle, and they all conjoin straight and cross through nicely through the middle. They have 4 different sections this time around.
Yeah, it's different.
I can't remember what they call it on Infinite, but it's basically another reimagining of that. It's basically that map. You got the platform in the middle, up and bottom. There's no teleporters this time around, but now this time
Grapple to do it. So
so each section now is different, which I'm like, oh, this is like, cause I'm like, as soon as I got into the map, I'm like, this feels like Warlock. I was like, oh my god, it's like that section, and like this is exactly the same but different. Like they've done more with it. They've gone, this is what we want to go from inspiration
Warlock
from this.
6.0.
But like because they've had it in like every version of the game. They've done that map like in DLCs and stuff like that. Like but yeah, they're taking inspiration from their old maps and like doing them new, and it's so fun. Like you've got an AI now too, when you play, like because it has like Kind of like if you remember from ODST, how there was that AI system that kind of like helped you.
Actually,
Remember how they like it guided? Yeah, you remember how it guided you through? It was that Alien, I think it was. I was using the system and ended up being in the end. I can't remember now.
wasn't it? I thought it was like an arbiter or something. Look, the arbiter.
But it was like helping you and it guided you through, like pinged you through the different areas. But yeah, it's like the AI or whatever it is. There's different AIs.
While you're talking about Halo,
Mm.
I watched some of the campaign.
Mm.
That's janky as fuck.
I've heard a lot of it's been leaking. Yeah.
No, it's not leaked, but because people have got
coming at you.
hands on early of
Yeah.
4 missions, 2 indoor, 2 open world.
Oh yeah.
The indoor is Halo. Open world's a bit
It's a bit.
but
Feels like 4 and
because
5.
all corridor shooters on the indoor ones. Like
Yep.
it's
So it feels like
Halo.
old school. Yeah.
But the cutscenes are janky.
Early access.
They run at 30, and they're like the brutes, the Spanish mouse move, and they're like slideshows. Like it's like when they're talking. The grapple shot, you shoot it, it's probably 30 or less. I was like, when you're moving.
It works great on the actual multiplayer. What the hell?
Hence why the campaign's delayed.
That's
Hence why
weird.
it took longer, I guess.
Who knows? Unless they're just doing that on purpose so people can't.
Yeah, but the cutscenes, they work great on 5. 5's fucking awesome.
That's weird.
But this, no.
Well, we'll find out next, like in a couple of weeks. We'll find out.
Yeah.
But
I won't buy it yet. I don't think. I'll probably get on Game Pass and then try it and go, oh yeah.
yeah, I'll be doing both because I'll get my copy when I pick it up eventually.
Oh, and also the co-op got delayed again till May next year.
Yeah,
Or till later after that.
yeah, that's what happened with a lot of the old ones. Anyway, they did the same thing. It happened with the
Co-op
Master
usually
Collection.
day one, but they don't know. Well, they couldn't do it.
See, for me, I'm not too big. I've never been extremely fussed on multiplayer for Halo. That was kind of a novelty down the track. I always liked to do the campaign by myself first, and then we did multiplayer after.
Oh, I did the first one co-op. That's fucking great. When you at the end of in the fucking Warthog at the end of the game, you just fucking like drive, and they're like, what?
Always used to race. We always
fuck.
used to get one each. We used to race.
Right?
And then you keep hitting each other out of the fucking way. You're like, oh, fuck! And then one of you would fly and then fuck you up, and then you have to respawn. And
That game, I'll say Halo 1's probably the best. Like, still, that campaign, you can't fucking beat it.
I forgot what I was going to say now.
The end. Where have the
a
floods
lot.
in this Infinite? Because the flood is still around, I think, isn't it?
Oh, Flood will always be around, so who knows where. It depends on the narrative where they're going with it. But I was going to say the AI
You
is
can't just have the Banished
no. There'll be something.
and the
depends on what it
Covenant.
is. Who knows what's going to go, and we'll find out. I'm keen either way. What was I going to say?
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah, because in the multiplayer you can customize your AI. I was going to say. There's a few different AI voices you
Yeah,
can add.
Halo's an annoying one that people hate.
Is there an annoying one? Is there?
I think I've
wonder
heard
if
people say bullshit
what it
like
is.
"fuck off."
What they tell it to
I
fuck
don't
off,
know.
or
I don't know what it is though. I didn't hear it when I was watching gameplay.
the AI I have in the multiplayer is freaking great because he swears. not
Apparently they talk too much. It's weird.
oh no, they don't too bad. They give you
I
in
remember
game.
Halo was quiet, like
Yeah, well, what it does,
except for like Slayer and shit like
no,
that, like the dude voiceover,
I kind of like it because it tells you what's going on while you're playing.
odd.
So it notifies you. So if something happens, it will notify you that saying like enemies are getting dwindled. You know, it keeps you notified like the section's been collected. Like if you're not paying attention while you're playing, it goes section B has been claimed. You know, go claim it back. Like it talks to you like, oh shit, like oh okay, I better go for that. Like it's kind of keeping you aware to be, hey, this is happening. Go do the objectives. Like it keeps you alert while you're playing, not just get distracted with shooting. Because some of the games, the kills mean nothing. Like it's exclusively objective based. Kills don't add anything to the game. And when we're playing, like the other day when we were playing, half our team was running around going for kills. Like the whole point is objective. Grab and claim and do the objectives. And people are running around. It's like
do the objective.
And the other team won because they weren't going around killing everyone. They were trying to do the objectives.
What does that sound like, Des?
I was like, ah,
Battlefield and COD.
yeah.
There's objectives.
So that's
TDM
why
for killing.
that's exactly, and that's why it kind of gives you the. I think that's why I went with it because it tells you this is going on. Grab the things, and it keeps reminding you, like not
Doesn't mean they'll do it
consistently,
though.
but no, it doesn't. It doesn't. I never felt like it overdid it. Like it kept me focused
No,
because
no,
I'd
it
be
doesn't mean
playing.
the idiots are gonna do it. Like they'll still just kill people.
Because I felt to me like I'd play and like I'd just be shooting as well. Sometimes I'd be doing something and then be like, oh shit, that's right. There's the objective. Okay, let's go do it. And then you kind of get distracted because you do sometimes get in the moment and you forget what you're doing. And it's like, and it just reminds you, kind of keeps you on. You're like, oh yeah, shit, I better go do that. But like,
I know when I play it.
but yeah, no, because one of the guys, I can't remember how he said it, how he phrased it, but the AI, when I don't know if he killed me or they claimed the objective, something happened and it put him in the lead, or they ran the, I can't remember if they won the round or whatever it was. But the AI that you have, like depending on which one you have, I think they're all different personalities. But the one I have is very like
Aggressive.
sarcastic. He's very sarcastic, and he
Oh.
goes, "These guys are starting to piss me off." And I was like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Go get him! Go get him! Finish him now! That's starting to piss me off." And it's just like, okay,
Buttons to what the fuck?
yeah, this was the AI. This was the AI that I had.
I see why people turn it off though.
I
If
like
it
it.
yells that at you.
Yeah, it's like these guys are starting to piss me off.
I think I was on David
I love
Jeffy's
it.
stream and he's like, I hate it. I hate it.
Oh, I love it. I love the AIs. Hey, like I love them. It makes me chuckle while I'm playing.
Because you can turn the frequency up or down. So it's the bare minimum, like just the objectives, or you can have it like just going.
Oh, they are like they actually have a lot of dialogue. Like it's not always the same dialogue as well. Like you won't hear like the same sequence.
Well, not in the same
same-
game or two.
Like
anyway.
there's a lot of dialogue that these characters have, and it's not as often that you'll hear the same dialogue twice. Like that's the thing. Like you may get it once, but there's so much dialogue they've recorded when you're playing that you won't hear it more than twice if you're lucky per that match. And it's great. Like I heard him say the whole piss off thing like once, and I played like 5 or 6 games, and I only heard it once. I never heard it again. I was like, oh wow. I was like, that's cool. Like it doesn't not always come back up. I'm like, oh.
It probably just jinx it. You get on there. These guys are pissing me. Who says it the first thing?
But I'm like, that's cool. Like they've actually got extra voice acting in.
Can you
and they've
change
recorded-
voices? Oh, is it all the one voice?
There's 5 different to start off with, and there was like 3 or 4 that were locked.
You got to pay for it, I bet.
I think they're unlocked through the battle pass. And some legendary exclusive items and stuff. Yeah,
If someone's already tier 100, good luck.
they're a long grind.
Because I said someone played for 12 hours and got level 3. That's
yeah.
bullshit.
So that's why they had to change the XP over. So it's understandable.
Because I just think if people longer have to grind for a pass, they'll just stop playing.
That's why I kind of like got a bit bored of it. But I'm like, I know I'm gonna have to try and do it because I want to get all the bloody
It'd be worth it with mates,
Reach-
though. Like, you've got a whole
reach
squad.
Oh,
That reach set looks good.
dude, we got to
Pepsi
get onto it. Like,
Man!
definitely got to get onto it because it's so good. It's so good. I'm honestly, I am though. Like, battle pass or no battle pass, like I'm actually loving the game. That's the
I mean,
thing.
I'll probably
too.
love it, but I'll probably die off after a month or two, maybe. Could be like,
If they don't
Yeah.
like freshen up the maps or add any new game mode stuff like that.
if they don't add new maps, very frequently it'll be a bit
Because there's only
stale.
there's only a couple maps at the moment.
Mm.
So they'd have
They've
to
got
update.
nothing. I mean, I'm more campaign. I'll play that than just. Unless you're all playing multiplayer, then
I'll be getting into that more. I was almost like, am I going to keep playing Fortnite? Or am I going to just convert to Halo? So,
It could get stale quick though. That's the thing.
yeah, it's like, I don't know what's going to happen, so it depends on what they're going to do.
Because the good old Halo days were good because it was either split screen with your mates or because online wasn't a thing back then really.
Yeah.
Not for most people. So it was all just random things happened, and now it's just
Yeah.
like, oh, the dude's just smashing everyone.
Oh, no, there's still funny moments happen too. Like, people are easily enough having funny moments in the game as well, which is great. So,
Okay, I might play after the potty actually.
I know if anyone's still on, I might just jump to that instead. But, yeah, it's so good. Like just being able to like pick things up now, like being able to pick up fusion coils. I love doing it. Just
I
picking up a
like
fusion
that,
coil
that
and
looks
just running
good.
with it, just running in and just like jumping
Just
up and
capture
just
the flag there.
yeah.
I used
So
to
good.
smash capture the flag
It's
on
so good.
all the other Halos. I used to be the one who used to grab the flag, then fucking leg it while the other ones are fighting. I was like, sneaky, sneaky, go. Get in a
Yeah.
warhog or
Well, that's
something. Just
actually the
fucking
thing too with the AI. Like, it will tell you too, because you'd be like, you've captured the flag, and then you'd be running on. It's like you are now aware to other opponents, and it lets you know, like, oh shit, like you're now seen. So
mm.
it will give you the heads up, and that's why I'm like surprised that people are like,
It
oh, I don't
doesn't
like
need
it.
that though. That's the weird part. Like
Well,
everyone, know,
if
I
you don't
suppose new
time it, if you don't
new
know
people.
if you don't know the time sequence of when it happens, it's kind of a good reminder that you can run with it, see how long you're going. Okay, now I'm
Yeah,
alert.
then I forgot it's free to play, so there's a lot of new people.
Oh
So
yeah,
I'm guessing they added the voiceover for
I know.
how to say it, the COD Battlefield, who had that in there.
It is
They're like,
interesting because yeah.
This will feel familiar to them.
Mm.
Like for us Halo veterans, like
Oh,
we
I
don't
like it
need
though.
that.
I like it. I think it's a
Yeah,
great like
yeah,
fresh.
but we don't need it.
It's a
Like we can
fresh of
do with
breath
or
air.
without it.
It's a nice fresh
Fresh
of
of
breath
breath
air.
air.
I think it's great. I actually think, because I was like, oh, which one do I want to choose? Like, when you get on there and you'll see it, it's kind of like you'll
I'll
kind
probably
of want to
go
use it.
off.
I don't know. You might actually leave it on. Like, that's the thing. Like, I was like kind of confused by it at first, and then I was like, this is actually kind of cool. So it doesn't,
You know,
like I
I
said, it
just
doesn't
like
seem.
the focus, like fucking do it.
Mm.
Like, oh fuck, what?
Well, it just
Like
tells you
do
what's
this,
going
do
on.
this, do this.
No, it doesn't do that. Like, it keeps you alert of like what's going on around the surroundings. It's keeping you informed of the battlefield, so you're not just like.
Oh, so it's just the objectives, nothing else.
It just keeps you informed if like things are going on around you, kind of thing. It just keeps you alert.
Who doesn't call out where players are? That'd be a pain.
No, it doesn't do that. But you do have a refresh pinging system.
Huh?
So if you know where people, if they come up on your map, so you know when you're running around, you know how it pings on the map. You know your little radar, you know your little
Oh,
map
so
radar,
you can't camp it.
and you know how that always pinged on the map when motion was being detected. There is a new
Yeah.
button now, so when you press down, it like repings that, and if people are alone, it would
What?
actually light them up. It actually lights them up, your teammates and the enemy, so you can see where they are if they're
Are there
moving.
outlines over people still?
Yeah.
Fuck off! What are they
So
doing
it's
with
only,
that?
but it's a very close radius though. It's a very close radius, and they have to be moving. So if they're not moving, it won't. And if they're not
Actually
like
emerging
invisible,
like
if they're not
a big outline
invisible,
guy.
well, no, it's in radius spot. Well, it makes sense. It's technical HUD. Like it's an alert HUD. So you blues your friendlies, red your enemies.
We never did that though in the
So
other ones, did it?
yeah, but these are new suits. You got to think these are new suits. The narratives, their suits are upgraded. They have newer tech.
Are they?
Yeah, these are new suits. There's a whole new suits and tech.
Hmm.
Because these are new Spartans now. There's if you follow the narrative, the Spartan program's all different now.
Oh, well, Spartans died and that was it.
No. So the whole concept too of these games that we're playing, you know how there's these games we're playing and we're shooting other. That's all trial. These are all training games. So you know the multiplayer that we are playing, where you're Spartans versus Spartans and you're doing the objectives. These are all military.
Master Chief was the last Spartan though. Like I thought
No,
he was
no,
the
no, no.
officially.
Nope. He's okay. He's technically the last official Spartan, like actual injected.
Who
Yeah,
are
like
these idiots then? Just
now it's just people in suits,
hmm.
like high grade. That's what all these new Spartans are. That's where Halo 5 was going at, and they had their games, their war games.
Until they die quick though.
Yes, because they're just soldiers with armor.
They're just the grunts of the.
They're just the
Spartan
best
world.
chosen to put on the suits. That's all it is. So
Wow.
there's a narrative, but it's always been that way though. The game's technically always been that way. That's what all the multiplayer's really been. But
Yeah,
they're
but Halo
focusing that
1
more.
to 3, like they were just dudes. Like you had your Spartans and then you had your regular just dudes.
Yeah.
They
Like,
should have just stuck with that.
1, 2, and 3. Well, that's the actual arc story, though. The actual story itself, they were actual Spartans.
Mm.
And then, that kind of... You got to follow the full story. There's a lot of thing that explains everything. And then they stopped doing the program because it was inhumane. They were kidnapping kids. They stopped doing that. That's why that, so there's this whole arc. That's why they stopped it.
I don't trust past 3. It just dies there for me because Bungie, other Halo people.
Yeah, but they still did those.
Hey.
They still did those, though.
Yeah, but like Halo 4 and 5, I don't count them.
They're still...
That's 343.
Yeah, but you got to remember, though, the 343 that worked on 4.5 are the original Bungie members that founded the company that made Halo.
What?
So when the company separated and they went to Destiny, so Bungie made, Bungie did 1, 2, and 3, and then they went into Destiny, and then 343 was made. So when they went off, all the newer staff went to Bungie, and the original founders of Bungie went to 343.
Yeah, but one of the dudes left years ago and then came back, didn't he?
And then there was that as well. So 343 was the original people that founded Halo that wanted to keep doing Halo.
The writer though, who.
But then it's just how they went.
Weird.
The directive narrative was a bit weird because it was Microsoft's directive. That was the problem. See, it was Microsoft's directive. You gotta remember that. 343, because you gotta remember, Bungie became their own thing and they could do what they wanted to do. But then that's why they didn't like what they were doing, is because Bungie wanted to have the freedom. Microsoft didn't want that. So they were like, well, fuck you guys. If we want the freedom of what we want to do, we don't want to do more Halo. So we're going to go off and go do this. So they went with Activision so they could do what they wanted to do. Haha, jokes on them. They had to do what Activision wanted them to do. And then they
find Microsoft.
So then that's why the ones that wanted to actually keep doing Halo, because they liked doing Halo, which was most of the founding members, stayed in 343 and did that with Microsoft. But then Microsoft's like, we want you guys to do this then if you're being with us. And they're like, oh.
But how did 4 just go so bad? 4 and 5?
The narrative was, they tried to hit the nostalgia marks to try and entice people into a new trilogy, but going, let's try and recreate these moments where people liked before.
But they should have continued, not.
It was a weird shit show of how they done it. 5 kind of started fixing things up because it felt like 2 again, but again they kind of
5 was weird. I hate it.
But
halfway through and quit.
This now is properly like, that's why this new one, Infinite's more of a proper successor, because the suit's gone back to the original suit. The whole feel of the game's gone back to the original game.
I guess next month, but
because that suit from 4 and 5 no longer exists. That's gone.
I don't even think there was a suit change.
Yeah. Look at the suit difference. Where's the look? Okay, so
statues there.
So this is Infinite, which is actually very close. Actually, where do I have the box in here?
That's got the shoulder pads that aren't meant to be on Spartans.
So no, the shoulder pads are.
What, those weird jetpack looking things?
So that's the figures there. I don't know if you can see them. So that's the original mark. So you can see the shape. It's kind of there. It's a very similar shape.
Yeah, but the back, the ones on Infinite are up to here.
Yeah, oh no, that's there.
That's way too big.
That's still the same.
Is it?
Yeah.
Doesn't look like on the picture.
But yeah, there's the 3 different, the evolutions of the different suit designs. But then you look at you can't really see it now. It's kind of like that there. So see that image there? It looks a lot closer to what this looks like now. It looks very close to that still. But then if you go to Halo 4 and 5 suit, which is this guy up here. Well, I don't know if I go with the big guy. I think the big guy's easier to see. Oh, fuck, I might snap off.
That looks different than
look at the suit there. Look at the suit there.
Ugh.
Look at the shoulder pads.
Ugh.
Look at the suit. Look at the jetpacks on the. Oh, you can't.
That colour's not even nice.
I don't know if you can see that. See those jetpacks on the back. See how wide they are.
That colour looks fucking horrendous.
Yeah, there's that green, the suit, and then
that's not green. That's more turd.
Look at
that's not even green.
That's what I mean. They've changed everything. They went too realistic or something. I don't know. But you can't see it too. I don't know if you can see it. So people can't see it. This one up here.
That's weird. I never knew there was a difference.
Yeah. Okay, here's even more battle. Well, here's a frosted version. But yeah, see the jetpacks on the. Oh, you can't really see the light.
They're not that much different.
See how big they are? They actually look like thrusters, and then those ones actually are the traditional, aren't even thrusters, the actual vents. This has so this on the back of him are jetpacks. This is air vents. These aren't thrusters, these are air vents. For the suit, what the fuck?
I don't know.
Everything's just, it's just what? So they've completely the front pad, the shape.
I think they've just forgotten 4 and 5 existed. Then
they've kind of
I think it's just this didn't happen. We're gonna go straight from 3 to Infinite.
That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying for a long time.
Weird.
That's what they've done. Infinite's technically what 4 should have been, or 4 and 5 should have been, but they've gone different with it. But yeah, we've gone back to the original, basically to the original suit. Yes.
Were the Banished in Halo before Infinite?
Yes.
Halo 2, right?
They're basically the heretics, which became the Banished, if I'm correct. Similar along the lines. Actually, they're different. I think it's different speed. Banished the brutes, aren't they?
Yeah, the big fuckers.
So that's Halo 3. That's after Halo 3. So technically,
so pretty much
because Halo.
They're pissed after that, so
So it's basically Halo 4. Like this is what Halo 4 should have been. But it's the story arc does kind of continue on the events that happened
in
from
5
4 and
and
5.
4. What?
But at the same time, oh no, it's weird.
What?
Well, it kind of doesn't, because at the same time, at the end of Halo 3, Cortana went weird and fucking rogue. And then 4, she was already gone rogue. Like,
putting it from 4 and 5 as well, how do they mesh the...
I don't know, it's going to be weird. We'll have to find out fully once the campaign, because he's still looking...
It's probably open world.
I feel like it's still, at the same time, I kind of feel like, because he's looking for Cortana. Like, we knew what happened with Cortana, and now with the story, he's got the new AI, and he's trying to find Cortana. Which feels like more of a... Yeah, he's still trying to find Cortana. And he's got Cortana's daughter jacked into his head. Because the AI...
Yeah, but didn't she get destroyed or something? Like, she gone...
So basically, what happened was Cortana died. She made the new AI, which was a backup of herself, so she could try and survive. That's why we have the backup now, so it still technically continues on, but... Yeah.
Yeah, but he won't get the original Cortana back.
There's still a file of her out there existing, and he's trying to find it to bring it back, but she keeps running away. So...
Hello, story is fuck.
It's weird, but definitely like they've gone back, and it's just like it's good to kind of get that original feel, which is nice.
I just hope the campaign's good. That's all I'm hoping. If it's not, sack them. Shut it.
Well, a lot of people keep saying now. People keep saying now it's Halo Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, Halo Halo Infinite fucking 7 or fuck. They clarify it's not a Far Cry game, so that's good.
Just similar.
From what they only got 4 missions, so they didn't really get a big test. But I don't hope they fix them things. The cinematic bug, the grapple shot. Even when you chuck a grenade, the game's at 120 frames, but the grenade's
That's
at
what gets me though. Is how is the campaign like that when the multiplayer is perfectly seamless? Like
I don't know.
Like how's the in the multiplayer the grappling hook works at like high 60 frames or whatever it is, and yet the campaign doesn't. Like that's a bit suspicious. I feel like they're giving
Look
like
at Digital Foundry, like, oh, the campaign's good, and then they get to the bad stuff, and it's like, no.
I feel like they're just giving like an early release version to demo.
Well, like 2 weeks. It's not going to change much in 2 weeks.
Oh, I was gonna say sometimes there's companies that'll give out demo copies that aren't anything like the published gold.
Oh, this
versions.
is, I think they said it's out by. Oh, it said it's roughly released stuff. So, because it's a polished game. It's just the cutscenes and that are a bit.
Yeah, well, we won't know until we actually see it. Like that's the thing. So. I don't know.
But you've all been warned.
If it's shit, then it's still.
If it's shit, they haven't fixed it.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Why would you ship that? Because they're basing reviews off that. So why would you ship that to them?
They do have disclaimers though, saying that this is like a preview version, right, and people just ignore that sometimes.
That shouldn't be an excuse though for things.
Well, there's been plenty of times where that happens. It's like the game, they'll push a game in beta still for a demo, even though the game's in gold.
Like that was in beta for years, and it's like just because it's in beta doesn't.
Yeah, no, but sometimes it is like a sample. Like it's only 4 missions. Like it's a sample pack. It's like here's a sample pack that's not the finished final product, and then the final product's completely different.
I reckon that is the finish, and it's going to launch with buggy fucking.
I just think it's weird that the fucking multiplayer is done and then perfectly fine. The campaign's not.
That's easy to make compared to the campaign.
That's all the same elements and process.
They've got to load the whole world in and. Remember, the multiplayer was small compared to that massive campaign.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
I've seen the map. That thing's fucking. It's not big, but it's big. Not big.
Depends on how it flows and how it loads in.
It looks good from what I've seen. Just the grapple shot and grenades are a bit 30 frames.
Yeah, that's just weird. That's weird.
No, they've been capped at 30 for that. Like, if you're running in 60 and 120, why are your things at clipped?
That's weird. That's weird.
Clipped at 30, like.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, to make it more cinematic, but when the brutes are talking, it's like a fucking slideshow. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, that's weird. Depends on what people are playing on. Are people playing on new systems? Are they playing on PC?
They're playing on the Series X.
Okay.
And they said it was going to happen on PC and everything because it's a game level thing.
Yep,
What
yep.
they've so
All I can say is wait. All we can really do is wait and see where
I
they're
mean
at.
they
If
did
it's
give them a heads up about it, like all the stuff. If they don't fix it, it's their own fault.
yeah. I mean, like I said, that same thing is they might have known what they were pushing out because it was only a preview version. They don't
Yeah,
give
they
two
should
shits.
they should have
So.
said that. Like things may like
Well,
that
that's what I'm
does
saying. Though usually
happen.
they do. They could have been a piece of paper that no one's looked at when they've received their copy of like their preview influence stuff and gone, oh, this is just whatever, and just skimmed over it. And there's like inside every box on the lids, there's like a piece of paper going, just a disclaimer that these are a preview version of the game, and no one's bothered to look at it.
I don't know, but
Yeah, who knows?
so
We
if
won't
it
know.
ships like it, you can't fix it. No
Yeah,
matter what you do, you can't fix it. So
they'll fix it eventually. Most probably. Like,
if they don't, that's just slack.
yeah, hold that for me.
That Pokemon card
Yeah,
and energy.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Yeah,
Another thing, which this is on the weird. This
yes.
is on the level of confusion weirdness. So I don't know if you've ever watched. You ever watched Cowboy Bebop?
Nope.
You watched Cowboy Bebop? Um,
That
so the
character looks weird that they brought in that goggled fucking freak, whatever
so
the
many
fuck
weird,
that thing is.
so many weird things going on. But yeah, so the live action is dropped on Netflix. Has finally dropped. It's interesting. I'm enjoying it. I'm
Is it
conflicted.
just a one-to-one redo, like of the?
I wish it
Well, not
was.
one-to-one, but I guess the
I
first season just.
I thoroughly wish it was 1-to-1.
Oh, so it's not as good.
I'm conflicted. I'm liking what they're doing, but at the same time, I'm like, this is nothing like the anime at all. Like at all.
Told you.
Like it's like alternate reality kind of shit. Basically,
Oh,
it's like the anime is set in one reality. Like say it's set in reality universe 936, and the live action is set in universe M Delta 12. Like it's like
why they do it that way?
like that's how I feel when I watch it, because like the episodes, like the first episode of the anime each episode of the anime is about 30 minutes each. The Netflix shows, the episodes are just as bad as our podcast. I can tell you that now, because their lengths is all over the place. The first episode's an hour, second episode's 35 minutes, third episode's
What?
47 minutes, then it's an hour, then it goes back to 40 minutes, then there's another 30 minutes, then it's like an hour, then there's an hour, then it's 40 minutes. Like the episodes are all over the place, just as bad as we are.
How do you do that?
But in the anime, episodes are only 30 minutes long, and they tell the story they need to tell and get along the dialogue and explanation of what they need to do for the
Oh,
episode.
no.
So the first episode goes for an hour. It took them an hour to tell the narrative in the live action that the show in 30 minutes told in the cartoon. It's like,
That's
how did it
bad.
take an hour to tell this whole narrative?
That's half hour wasted of your time. Of
Yeah,
just
that they could have
nonsense.
just, like, the cartoon had done perfectly fine. There's scenes that are completely, like, there's drag out scenes in the
No, it is a
cartoon.
one. Should have
on
been
the
one
anime,
to one.
not
It would have
cartoon
been
shows,
perfectly
eh?
fine.
If like I was hoping, I thought they were going to do, because it was very like looked close. I thought they were going to do an exact live action 1-to-1. They did not do a live action 1-to-1. They've gone, okay, this
should've.
is what the episode is. They keep, okay, so basically they keep to the narrative of the episode, so they tell the exact same story. So it's like a
Yeah,
reboot.
but they've just done it longer. Like
It's like a reboot. I don't know. So the narratives tell the exact same story the anime tells in that episode, but they tell it their way of telling it, and it's very mistreated too, because some
The
of the
same
narratives.
writers who did the anime,
I think they helped out. I'm not too sure. There's a lot of
so
input. I think
probably had a little bit of input, and that's why it's so.
it's so confusing, because it's just like I want to like it.
man.
I do like it, but I'm liking it for its own thing. And they are kind of getting things right, like the feel, the atmosphere, like they're getting
That's
that
just way too
80s. They're getting that 80s 90s style, like humor, action, like they're getting that. And I think that's where a lot of people are feeling a bit off of it, because they're not used to that old school style. Like it's feeling like that, but very futuristic, because it is. I don't know. It's just weird, but it's it's definitely kind of irking me a bit, because I know how the episodes go, and it's nothing like the episodes. Because there's moments that I like in the anime that I liked that they don't end up doing in the live action.
long.
I'm
You're
like,
saying if you like the anime, don't watch the live action.
maybe don't watch it, or just be prepared that it's going to be a lot different. Like it's still.
If you've never seen it like me, you can watch the live action and be perfectly fine.
Because, like, okay, for an example of a narrative they changed, like, some of the narratives they changed is, in this third episode, I think I'm sure it's like the same episode, the same story. Um, but there's the episode where there's this tall black dude who is basically got this corgi that's like an experimented corgi, and he's trying to deliver it, and he loses it halfway through. Someone steals it from him and tries to
A
sell it.
corgi.
Yeah, a corgi, and he's basically on the run because he stole it from the lab, and he's trying to like run with it because this dude stole it, and then someone else steals it from him and tries to sell it, and Spike's tracking him down, and he goes, oh, he comes across this guy, and it's a completely different guy, but he thinks it's the guy that he's been tracking in a disguise because he's been known to have disguises, I guess. And I don't know, he just assumes that I don't know. It's a weird narrative. Doesn't get the corgi and goes on a thing, and then goes to a fight. In the show,
I'm confused by that.
in the live action, so the anime does it. I keep calling it cartoon. Do never call it a cartoon. People will hate us.
It is a
It's an anime.
Dragon Ball Z. It's a cartoon.
In the live action, the corgis don't even get narrative. Like the dogs and the corgi stuff doesn't even get narrative till towards the end of the episode. And the dude, the big black dude, he's still a black dude. He's just not a big giant like 7 foot, 8 foot tall dude who like knows martial arts. He's like a normal. He's the same height as what's his name? The who plays Spike. I can't remember that actor now. I forgot his name. But yeah, they're basically the same height. But majority of the time, he's in disguise as a white hippie dude. He's wearing the fake disguise, so you don't actually get to see the black dude at often. Like the narrative is that he has disguises to get away with things, but then like they show him more in the disguise than actually being the dude himself. And it's like, what the fuck? Like you see him more as the tall black dude in the anime than you do in the live action. And it's just like, what the fuck's this shit? And then you don't see about the dog towards the end, and that whole sequence of where he's like, because Spike already kind of knows, he's always ahead of characters because he kind of knows characters, he knows what they're like, so he's always kind of ahead of them. He's prepared and kind of aware. This version is a bit like he's always trying to like, where are these people? He's trying to like he's asking for directions a bit. It's just like, dude, you should know where you're going. Like, you're a bounty hunter. You should know what you're doing. You're supposed to be really good at this. But then at the same time, in this version, he's like, oh, I've kind of like just recently picked up bounty hunting kind of feeling. It's like, I still don't know what I'm doing, but like, I'm good at my job. But it's just like, what? What do you mean? Like,
You change that from.
and so like he's always going around asking for questions. I'm like, that whole sequence that
How
happened.
do you go from confident to you new?
Like, it just feels out of place. Like some of the stuff, it
I've
works
tried to-
but doesn't. It just, I don't know. It's weird.
I tried the one-to-one reboot.
That's I said, they didn't even 1-to-1. I would have rathered a 1-to-1 reboot. Like, oh,
Well, that's what it meant to be. That's what they advertised it, wasn't it?
But like, it's a lot more mature. Like, it's a lot more violent. The live action, and it's a lot more mature. So the scene where he's chasing the guy down in public with the corgi, the whole fight sequence was completely different because there's no dog involved to lead him to the situation, and they end up going to a brothel and having a fight in a brothel strip club on top of the roof.
What the fuck?
That's how they do that fight sequence, instead of it being on a bridge and then the dog jumps away and he's trying to get the dog and then they fall into the water. And it's just like that whole sequence changed. I'm like, come on, like this is a good sequence.
The other one sounded way better.
So I mean, I'm sorry if I've spoiled something. I should have said spoiler warning of some of the episodes. Sorry if I spoiled it, but like it's just like, it just sucks because like that's like the same thing with the first episode.
First episode's not really a spoiler, so.
But like that's the same thing with the first episode. If you've watched the anime, that's the thing. If you watch the anime, you know what's coming through. You're gonna expect. But like there's a sequence in the first episode as well. There's a sequence where
what you know is gonna happen doesn't happen.
Yeah, it happens differently. Well, that's like one of the other narratives. There's like there's a narrative between Spike and this female character, and they're done in different situations where they have a chat against a spaceship, and then they fly off in a chase in the spaceship. In the live action, he's having a talk with her in a little town next to a car, which then they end up going from the car to a station which has the jets, and then they fly off. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, the sequences are done completely different. They introduce a character that's not even introduced until like later on in the show. Like, halfway in the season, they introduce this character that she's being introduced in the first episode.
It just sounds like a clusterfuck of a. They did whatever the fuck they wanted.
And like, there's like the narratives were like well done and dramatized out because.
Have they not seen the anime?
Well, it's like a standoff scene. There's a standoff scene where they're like flying off into space, and it's just like this dude's gone nutcase mad. He's like, and he's like, we're gonna get out of this thing. He's like nutcase mad, and she's like freaking out. And she's like, but she knows she's gonna die. He's going crazy. They're flying into the guys, and they're being bombarded by a bunch of bullets. In the in the anime, she pulls a gun and she shoots him in the head.
In the cartoon.
In the anime, she pulls a gun and shoots him in the head because he's gone batshit crazy, and they're gonna die anyway. But she's just like, no, I'm just gonna put you out because you're just going fucking nutcase. I can't deal with this. It's kind of like suicide, murder, suicide kind of situation that they're going for, like a Romeo
like a
and
Hitler
Juliet.
thing going on.
It's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet situation. They kind of portray a Romeo and Juliet. So in that, it's kind of like he's going mad, piling the thing. She shoots him in the head, then she takes the wheel, and then they get bombarded with bullets. In the live action, he's injured halfway over in the sun, going, oh, she's flying off in the thing towards the bombardment of bullets, and then they get hailed with bullets. There's no her pulling the gun, shooting him, and then she's all like, farewell to Spike and Spike. They change narratives.
Did she shoot him to get him injured, or
like he was already injured? But it's just like the whole basically the emotions that the anime captures at the right point in time
not there
to really feel. Yeah, they don't have those moments. They don't have that exact.
Come on.
There's like like they create their new moments, but it's like. And that's why I'm very torn. That's why I'm very torn because I'm liking where they're going. And I like what they're doing, and they're changing the narrative. But at the same time, I was kind of expecting it to be a 1-to-1, and I'd rather it have been 1-to-1.
Yeah, but if you change a narrative, you change the whole fucking narrative, not bits.
So they're telling at the same point they're telling further parts of the story through the current episodes as well. So they're kind of like telling that narrative of the episode that it's copying from, but then adding further elements into those episodes now, telling them that. So they're telling two narratives at the same time as well.
Oh, fuck.
Like that's basically what they're doing. They're telling two narratives per episode. It's just
so I'm just better off watching the anime and that's it.
The anime is better. Otherwise, if you want to avoid it, like if you so that's the thing though. If you go in watching the live action because you haven't watched the anime, you'll most probably like the live action.
I'm guessing the live actions for not fans are just.
It's definitely. I definitely feel like it's for new audiences, but if you're a fan, it does kind of rub you the wrong way. So
what is Cowboy? I think I've seen it before though.
Cowboy Bebop, Spike Spiegel
on Cartoon Network and shit.
Yeah.
Back when I was a kid.
Yep. So they do have a lot of that stuff still. They definitely still
give me the live action. No.
So yeah, that's exactly it. So if you haven't fully watched the anime, I'd say you can go for the live action. I mean, the anime is great. I mean, you can watch the live action, then go to the anime and be like, man, I should just watch the anime most probably, but it's one of those things. So, I mean, I should have given you a bit of a spoiler.
I typed in Cowboy Bebop, Netflix anime that came up.
Yeah, because the anime is on...
Netflix's Cowboy Bebop fails. That's the thing I got straight up.
It's a bit sad, though, because this could have had potential, like, strong potential. And they didn't go with it.
I think I have. Looks familiar. Maybe like an episode or two, that's about it.
Yeah.
I didn't run for a year.
Yeah, that's the sad part. It only did one season of like 27 episodes and that was it.
26 episodes? That's a fair episode. That's a fair season, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's probably all it needed then, like nothing else.
So, oh no, there was always...
This.
Well, that's the thing though.
Season?
The anime busted because it didn't really hit the... That's kind of the same thing too. Like the anime, when it came out, it didn't hit the right audience. It was the same kind of thing as the live action. It didn't hit the audience properly. It was kind of like ahead of its time. And only a unique audience liked
only
the anime.
98, like it. Same as Dragon Ball was out, I guess. Yeah, but people would have went for it.
It was very niche. So Cowboy Bebop hit a niche mark and it didn't fully take off, so they never got a renewal for a second season. People wanted more from it.
I always heard about it. I just didn't watch it.
It was it was one season and I think a movie, 2 movies. But yeah.
They should have kept it. Netflix should have continued the season 1, did their own thing for season 2.
Try to like narrative.
Shouldn't have done the first. Shouldn't have tried to redo
a live action.
One to redo. Especially if they're not even precisely.
I know.
Like 40 minutes, 30, an hour. Like, how do you mess that up?
Yeah, it's all over the place. The episodes aren't even like the same length. It's just like
that first episode, people will get bored because it's so fucking long for a half an hour thing.
Yeah.
As you said, they tell a whole half an hour story in an hour.
Yep, it took them a whole hour to sell the narrative. That 30 minutes told.
Probably less than 30 minutes. Probably like 20 minutes. When you think it would have ads and shit back there.
Like there's a joke as well in the anime in the first episode where you see these old guys talking at the bar. The bar gets shot up. Later on, you see them at another location, where you end up at, and then there's another shoot up. And this thing here, you don't even see the old guys until later on after all the shoot ups have happened.
Come on.
And they don't even make the same jokes, because in the thing they're like, hey, I told you about the time of when I was working with these guys, and then we did this thing, and then the other old bloke's like, we are those guys, we are your friends, we're the ones that did that, and he's like, ah. And then later on they're doing the same thing, another thing happens, he's like, oh, remember that other time where I told you I was with my friends, and we did this thing, he's like, we are those guys, we've already been through this. It's like, it's just like all
That's
these
a coincidence,
jokes.
though. You're there, it gets shot up. You go there, it gets shot up. Don't go to the next one.
Yeah, they're just a bunch of old guys playing cards, having their whatever, and they sake or whatever it is, and they can't.
Sake? Oh, the little fucking shots, little.
Yeah. Oh,
it's crazy.
crazy.
I want to watch the anime. I
But
mean, if
otherwise-
the live action looked good and shit, like I'll probably watch that instead.
Like it is decent. Like it looks done well. Like I've watched. I'm up to episode 4 now.
Yeah, how many is there? How many episodes?
10.
Is that the whole season?
That's for this season so far.
Oh, they split it up too.
Most probably, yeah.
How do you call a season 2 if it's season 1 in anime?
I know.
How the fuck? Is
Oh,
it
yeah.
episode 2 hours for that? Like, what?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I've done. An
Yeah.
actual 2-hour movie, the whole season in a movie, would have made more sense.
Yeah.
You can probably do that.
I think because I
There'll be
think
two
it worked
movies,
out to
part
be
one,
like
part
13
two.
hours to watch the whole anime.
Yeah, but you can cut anime down because there's a lot of just like Dragon Ball. You can cut a lot of that out. You
Yeah.
can do that to any anime. You can bring it shorter.
Yeah.
You don't extend them. Fuck. You don't extend an anime because they're already the perfect length. You can just shorten them.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, I'll watch it maybe. Ugh. Give me a bad taste. Fuck. I'm dying.
But yeah, that's.
I'm surprised you brought that up. To be fair, the Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, no, I wanted to because I haven't watched it. I thought I'd at least put my words in on that one, since I've experienced it. Actually, experienced
At
watching
least
it.
you warned people there.
So yeah, so
Watch it if you want. It's not as good.
That's exactly
You can watch it.
I'm
Or just
watching
watch the anime.
it. I'm gonna watch the whole thing.
Well, you pretty much have. Well, no, 10 episodes, you said.
Yeah, I'm up to
Oh,
episode
yeah,
4.
you're halfway there.
Halfway there.
Another 10 hours left. Imagine they're getting longer. 2 hours, 3 hours,
No.
3 hours per episode.
It's not the Beardy Bros podcast.
Maybe they took influence. Make it whatever fucking length, whatever happens, happens.
That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like they've done.
I could just think an anime, 30 or 20 minutes ish, an episode. You come to this.
Well, I mean, it's actually kind of actually think about it. It's kind of like the comparison between our audio podcast and our video podcast.
Wow.
Because our audio podcast was always like an hour. As soon as we went to video, as soon as we went to video, we're like 2 hours long.
They took it from us, Des.
So we did it first, where we were like
It was like an hour and a half, wasn't
Us-
it? But
yeah.
for the audio.
yeah, and they were like
And there were like
2 hours to 3 hours, nearly 4 hours, I think, on one of them.
Could be 4 hours, one of them.
I mean, technically, if you
That's
add those two
crazy.
episodes together, it's like 5 hours or something stupid.
Oh, the after hours one.
Because we did that one which was like 3 hours, and then the after hours like an hour and something. We just
like
kept
4.5
going.
or something. That's crazy. That happens.
It happens.
If there's things that are on that week and stuff, like, fuck.
We'll try and make this one not 3 hours for Juddy.
Oh, yeah, we gotta call you out, Juddy, for calling us out on the length.
This is 3 hours too long. Too long of an episode. What
No,
are you
what-
gonna try and do
I
in
wanna
your?
read what he said exactly.
Well, what I was gonna say. What are you gonna try and do in your podcast that's starting back up again? Are you gonna be doing 3 hour long episodes? Are you gonna do 30-minute long episodes? Or are you gonna even be able to do 5 episodes?
This is exactly what he said. Yup. I just listened to a 3.5 hour podcast. 3.5 hours.
Commitment. Maybe that's why he doesn't want to be on it, because he's thinking if he comes on, he'll be here for 3 hours.
Not really. I mean, no, he's not fucking Wookiee.
That's usually what happens. I mean, we don't always have to
Yeah.
get distracted and run for fucking hours. It just happens.
I mean,
Depends
that's
on
the
how we
thing.
feel.
We got freedom.
We do what we want to do. I mean,
Like,
let's.
we would never be contracted
I
because
mean,
fuck that. That'll put
yeah.
you to a deadline.
Oh,
You cut off time an hour and a half. Fuck off.
but it'd be interesting to see if Jody gets his podcast going again. Let's
I
see how
mean,
that goes.
he's keen. Just if his mate.
He
do
wants
it
to
more
try
than
and do it
once.
again. He wants to try and do the podcast again, their podcast. But once it gets going, we can try and
Right.
plug it again. We've had him on before.
Oh yeah,
We've had both
that
of
was a
them
while
on.
ago now.
We had them both on.
Right? It was like a podcast off. Like,
It's one of those things because you really got to have the
Wookiee, I think,
commitment.
too, didn't we, for
Yeah,
that?
yeah. We had 5 of us. It was the biggest podcast we've ever had.
That was crazy.
But you really do. You got to really have the commitment. I like I said, I still love doing
yeah.
this. Like I enjoy this.
Right?
I always like. I don't know. It's every time now. I don't care whatever's going on Friday. Like I'm all like Friday, Saturday.
See, you want to day ahead.
Like anytime. Like I'm just like fuck whatever's happening. I just want it to be the night time, just so I can do the fucking podcast. Just sit here, record some shit, just have a fucking chin wag, even though we chin wag any other time. But like, just fucking talk this, record
So
it,
we
just
could
put it up.
podcast all week, really, if we really felt like it.
Oh, it's just like I don't know. I just love doing this. I just love sitting here recording, just talking shit, and just putting the video up there. It's just so good. I know what it is. I just love it. I just love it.
Just imagine it was in person. We could put a lot more stuff into it. Ooh, that would happen eventually.
Oh, I could have plugged the podcast. Oh, I could have plugged the podcast on TikTok. I could have gone live on the podcast with my TikTok because I go TikTok live now.
Ooh.
I could have like
Next
set
time.
it up. I could have set it up. I could have been like sitting here talking. Like I can go
Right.
live now on my
I'll
TikToks.
last like 30 minutes. Say if you want the rest.
Oh, maybe I should plug it. I might set that right now. I might do it live.
Well, for like a couple of minutes, and then just say, hey,
Set up-
if you want more.
Set up a TikTok live. I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna go live.
And while you do that,
Plug some shit.
I'm gonna say a few thingamajiggies. Oh, we don't know Halo multiplayer that. I can cross that off. Rockstar, oh, got that. Oh, also, a game got moved forwards with a release date. Does
Yeah.
remember that Sifu game?
Oh,
Where you go
yeah,
from young to
Sifu.
old? That's 2 weeks earlier now, February 8th. It comes out. Yeah, because they said like there's a release date change, and everyone's like, not a delay. It's like moved it forwards. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's unexpected. Like, come on, man. But yeah. Also, in the Halo campaign,
Yeah.
some people have found the Craig Easter egg.
Oh, the Craig. They actually got the Craig Easter egg.
It's Craig's face on an old vinyl fucking case, and it's got all his greatest hits
Oh, Craig's greatest hits. That's great.
with his band or whatever. I'm like, is it? They've even got every song fucking named as well.
Yeah, yeah. Craig's
It's
band.
got somebody's parents, like my parents are done or something. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's Craig Easter egg. There's probably more than that. Like, there's probably way more.
Be interesting to see how many Easter eggs they've put into this game.
Oh fuck it! They're really Halo's not really Easter eggy though, is it?
No,
I mean, it's
sometimes like they had the
very subtle like that. Like, it's just
Well, I mean,
probably
you
one thing.
remember the monkey family that they had in Halo 3? They've had things like that where they have like little Halo, like little family Easter eggs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's always something. They all have like the little secret people hidden in the skulls.
Yeah,
It'd be
no, it's
interesting to see what
Craig.
they'll do with the skulls and stuff like that this time around.
Have you even got the meme face from the actual thing that people took?
Oh, that flat face.
Yeah,
They've
they've
got
got
that.
that flat face on the album.
Oh god.
That's great.
Are they gonna reconnect? Is that reconnecting?
And also, as we said
Very
before,
connected.
Pokemon
Yeah.
Diamond and Pearl are
Yep,
out.
Diamond and Pearl are out. Yes,
today.
indeed.
Also, I got some juicy stuff here. The Rock wants to be the next Bond. Dwayne Johnson said he wants to be the next James Bond.
The Rock as the Bond. That would be interesting, having The Rock as James
That'd be-
Bond.
He's already done spy stuff before. Remember Central Intelligence and stuff like that? He was pretty good in them. Just imagine a Bond setting.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
you
it would be a
imagine?
very Rock film.
Because Daniel Craig is done with Bond now, isn't he? After this one that just coming out. Like, he's done. So they're looking for someone. The Rock? Dwayne Johnson?
Yeah, I mean, could
I'm
be one of those
keen.
things. Get bloody
I'm keen.
Oh, dude, for the next Bond, they should get Idris Elba. Idris Elba.
I mean, he is British.
He would work great as Bond.
Yeah, so Dwayne Johnson. Oh, they're both as good as one another, really.
Dwayne would be
Yeah, but I
pretty.
think The Rock's just got that Bond comedy stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like he's more of a Sean Connery kind of thing. Like you just be subtle about it.
Oh, actually, I was gonna say that's on the Rock and stuff like that. Red Notice as well. Red Notice is out.
Is it out though? Like out now?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Like now?
Yeah, been out for like a week now.
Because I thought it was out like later,
No,
next
it's,
month.
it's up on Netflix. I've been watching it. I've watched it.
Is it actually good?
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Because I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Red Notice
Oh,
is
I'm
pretty
gonna
good.
watch that tomorrow. It's just a good cast. Gal Gadot, fucking The Rock, and Ryan Reynolds.
Well, that's exactly it. Ooh, flip the camera around. Oh, where's the?
Also, this is a Tom Holland thing. I got a couple of Tom Holland things.
Yes.
He wants to quit acting at some point soon and be a landlord. He said he wants to buy because he's so rich. Like he's like got all this money. He wants to buy like a hotel and that.
Do you
and
know
like
why?
the condo stuff and rent it out cheaper to other people. Because he got too much money or something. It's weird.
You owe me rent. You owe me rent.
Yeah, they put that dude there.
That
on the
meme,
picture.
rent meme.
Yeah, but he wants to be a landlord to make things cheaper. For
What
people
was
who
his name?
don't have-
Dobovich. And then when Peter's like, and he's like, "You'll get my rent when you fix this goddamn door."
But yeah, mate, Tom Holland could be a landlord. Like
Tom
who-
Holland's a
who would've-
landlord. That would be weird. I mean, he wants
but
to kind of break out of it because I mean, have you seen some of the behind the scenes stuff of like
Yeah.
him like out in public and stuff? People just harass him. Like I was
He
watching.
said he wants to be a landlord. That's nice and quiet.
Give me rent. You'll give me rent. You'll give me rent.
It's just a weird thing to bring out though.
Because I was like,
comes out with all this now. It's like,
yeah. Well, I mean, he's still pretty young though because he
well, the
hasn't even.
trilogy's done. Like,
Well, that's what I mean. There is talk, so that's why he's saying he wants out of it, but he's still scripted in because there's all those rumors popping out still.
yeah, but he's not
That-
like a main.
But he's still
then.
scripted. Well, yeah, because they're looking at doing. That's what I was going to say. They're looking at doing another trilogy with Spider-Man.
Miles or something.
But it'd be definitely him passing the torch. But they're looking at getting a lot of the Spider-Man characters that Sony owns and putting them into other MCU properties. They're looking at trying to possibly doing as well. So have like maybe
Morbius, Venom, and
yeah, like have them pop up
Yeah,
like
they're
in
not
other
bad
movies.
guys though. Really, like Venom and
So-
Morbius aren't bad.
It could be one of those things. So who knows what's going to happen? It's
I'm
going to be
not keen for
interesting.
Morbius. That comes out soon, Daz. Ooh.
Oh, I cannot wait for Morbius. Morbius looks so good.
That looks better than Spider-Man in my opinion.
Oh, Spider-Man's going
And
to have a
Venom
lot
2
going on
looks
for
better
it.
than fucking Spider-Man.
Is that a Juddy I've seen pop into my into my TikTok live? A Juddy's just popped into my TikTok live. We were just talking
Also-
about you on the podcast, Juddy.
There's another Tom Holland bit of news that he said the Uncharted movie broke him because
broke him?
Spider-Man's all CG and
actually physically did
Uncharted's
stuff.
all real. Like he had to like do everything
Yeah.
himself.
I know you had
He's
stunt
like, "It
doubles,
broke
but,
me."
but,
So-
yeah. But no, I was gonna
That
say some
comes out
of the
soon
some
too,
of the
actually.
stuff I've seen of like Tom Holland in the public because of how he's been because of basically he's known
It's so
as
awkward though. Like he doesn't like it.
no because the people are just on him and harassing. But there was this one where he was in public and it must have been like it must have been recent because he was wearing a face mask like because it was like during like must have been like the COVID
Yeah.
kind of thing. So not just to hide, it's like he was wearing a face mask, and they're like but you could tell it was Tom Holland. And there was like this thing where these three girls went up to him to get like a photo.
Oh god.
And you can see he grabs the phone to take like a selfie to try like, oh, can we get a photo? And like take it to do the selfie, like get him with them. He basically just holds it over his shoulder and takes a quick shot and just takes a photo of them, not with him even in it. He like takes a photo and gives the phone back. And
He
he's
didn't
just
even look,
and
did
the
he?
photo,
He just-
yeah, no, he just took the thing and he's just like, no, and it's just the photo of the
that's
three
dirty.
girls, not him. I was like, damn.
Dirty. He definitely doesn't want to be
Alan
like,
from-
famous. I don't
Apparently, I
think.
look like Alan from The Hangover. I mean, they're not wrong. Someone just commented in the live chat.
Good old Alan.
I mean, I've had that before. I've actually got a shirt with Alan's face on it, so I always say I'm wearing my own shirt. Friggin' Zach Galifianakis.
Right.
Zach Galifianakis.
He looks so different now. Like it's crazy.
He's so skinny. He's lost so much weight.
That he
between two
lost his
ferns.
beard and shit, I think now.
He's
Like
still got the beard.
or it's very short or something. Like
Or
it's
short, I don't know.
completely different.
He always changes the length of it all the time.
I've got to think about Henry Cavill.
Yeah, Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill. He said he's absolutely committed to the 7-season Witcher plan.
Oh, 7 seasons of The Witcher.
Fucking seasons.
7 seasons of The Witcher. Definitely
He said
keen.
no, he said he's absolutely committed. So he.
Like,
Well, I guess he's getting rid of Superman, so he's doing Witcher then. Because apparently Superman's Black Superman now. Like they're going with that. So I mean, makes sense.
Jody said he's gonna fall asleep with his phone on TikTok. So he's actually gonna sit here, watch my live, and fall asleep. Is that what you're gonna do,
It
Jody?
is nearly 1, so I mean he would be
Something
going
like
to sleep.
Hello everyone, welcome to the TikTok live.
But 7-season plan. The second one's not even out yet.
I know.
Another 5 coming. Like I didn't expect that.
That'd be cool though. I'm keen to. He's basically saying if they decide to do more, he's down for whatever. Like he'll keep going.
They've already got a 7-season plan. I reckon they're shooting them all like as they go. I think like just by the sound of it.
Mm.
Who knows? 7 seasons are like that. First
A life
season
or
was
death
so
question.
good. So good.
I was going to do a quick plug since I've got people here on the TikTok watching the live. There's a couple people watching. Someone's asked me a question. Excuse me, sir. Can I please ask you a life or death question?
What?
What? Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man. The Muffin Man. The one that lives on Drury Lane.
No, you meant to do the Farquaad voice for that. Who lives on Drury Lane? Like, he just gets right in his face and does that.
Oh,
It's
remember when you sent
creepy.
that photo of the 4K fucking
Oh, yeah, oh, the weird veiny eye fucking
the
stare.
Farquaad?
Yeah.
I take that as a nice compliment. You're kind of cute, bro. Not gonna lie.
I haven't made it past
I'm getting
that.
compliments right now. It's making me blush. Getting the compliments. Send me those hearts. I'll do a quick plug though. You're coming here watching this, so yeah, check up. As you've seen the title behind this is behind the scenes of the Beardy Bros podcast. Those listening, check it out on the TikTok. I have my TikTok, which is the Real Pickle Tube TV, which we'll try and plug it around backwards and forwards, plug everything. But those that are watching in the TikTok are coming by. Jody already knows about it. He's in it a few times. Check out the YouTube. Check out the Spotify. Those that are listening either way, whichever we're playing this. Find us on Spotify, Beardy Bros Podcast. Find us on YouTube, Beardy Bros Podcast. Here and there, vice versa, because we upload these videos up onto the... we're about to kiss. We upload these up to the YouTube so you can watch us live, like the full video. Oh, someone goes, oh, hey, Daddy. What up? I'm loving this. It's great. So this is usually the format we have when we're going. You'll see this video. Otherwise, you just hear it audio, everything straight on the Spotify audio. You could try and feel the podcast, but I mean, we haven't learnt that technology. That
I don't feel the pod. We can make your ears rumble. That's about it.
Hey, Dad. I got all these mules in the chat. They call me Dad.
I still can't forget that.
Calls me Dad.
I shouldn't have outed him, but I just had to.
That's a random question. These people asking random things. I have no idea. I don't even know. I don't think I even know what we're talking about. I don't know.
No idea.
Don't get me confused. This is not BTS. We're not talking about BTS if that's what we're going for.
What the fuck's BTS?
BTS.
Behind the scenes.
It's behind the scenes, but BTS is the Korean pop singers.
I have no fucking idea.
I know we're not talking about that. Aren't we talking about? No, we're not talking.
Well,
I've confused myself. Don't confuse me.
Back in the face. Put out a fucking shirt. Just.
I'm confused now. I don't know. I'm trying to do two things at once. It's a bad idea.
Pop.
I think this is not even a 2-hour. Jody, this is not even a 2-hour episode. It's not 3 hours. It's only an hour. We're only an hour and 40.
It's not 3.5.
No, it's not 3.5. We're just about at an hour and 45 minutes. I made a Banjo Cactus t-shirt, so that's up on the store.
Yes. It looks fucking funny though. It looks good. Magical cactus.
Magical cactus. I maybe should do that.
Magical cactus.
Save that as a... Jody, save that as a screenshot. Just put that on the shirt.
Johnny, say that the screenshot. Put it on a. Fuck. Oh, I'm done. I'm done. Fuck's sake.
I'll leave it to you then, Jim. Jim, you can wrap up the podcast. What are we gonna do?
You got nothing?
I mean, the only thing the only other thing I can maybe drop these couple little things. There's a new Earthworm Jim animated TV show starting up. It's being developed by the studio that owns the rights to the games.
Fuck yeah.
So that's pretty
Jim.
cool. Yeah, Earthworm Jim. So there's a new animated TV show. So like that's pretty cool.
Been a thing for years.
Yeah, it's actually happening, and yeah, being developed by the team.
When you said Earthworm Jim, I thought it'd be another game.
But it's being developed. The show's being developed by the people that worked on that own the rights to the games. So they could be doing a TV show, and they might be doing a game.
I hope it's not the same thing though. Like tied to it, that'd be shit.
Like Ratchet and Clank.
That was good though. Maybe it was a bit weird, but the game was good. It was just a reboot, just a redo of the other game.
The only other thing I had here, which was a Ubisoft thing, which I wasn't too worried about, but it was just that they're making a entertainment center in 2025. As part of the announcement, they're going to be making a full-scale theme park.
Yeah.
Sometime after that. So
I'm
there'll be some
Vass and John C. and Joseph C. Fucking John Joseph.
Imagine having those interactive experiences, like having a Far Cry, like
an AC area,
vast experience running around everywhere. That'd be pretty cool.
Having Michael Mando just chasing people.
Actually, have him show up.
Because they've got him on contract. Like they can hear there just fucking
have fucking it's McLovin. What's his name again? I forgot his name.
Giancarlo Esposito walking around as fucking dude from Far Cry 6.
As soon as you walk in through the gates, they'll be sending you emails.
You coming back?
What are you doing? You haven't been doing it when you leave?
Not after you leave.
When you leave, it's sort of like they let you know that you're here taking over an area, and then when you leave, hey, you've left this area. You get to come back. El Presidente is taking it over.
They get
give me those likes. Give me those likes.
Make like pre-recorded things, and people leave, it just plays. That'd be a cool idea from them, though.
But yeah, so that's what they're doing. So like that sounds pretty cool.
I did hear about that, but I didn't really look into it because I'm just like,
a bit of information.
Like, not for us because other side of the fucking world.
They still need to try and get a Disneyland here in Australia.
I heard things are shutting down here, like stuff like that.
It just sucks. Like if they built a Disneyland, so many like they're talking about like when the whole borders and stuff are opening back up. They're talking about like how the borders are opening and they're like as Disneyland's ready to start walking back their Australian the Australian like commute like
because we're the majority of that fucking thing because people go over there just for that.
Well, when they post one of those things up there, like when they are going, well, we're happy to welcome back all the Australians. You go in the comment section of that post. And everyone that's Australian's going, are you going to build a Disneyland in Australia? Can you build one in Australia? And when is it going to come to Australia? It still hasn't come to Australia yet. Can you please have it in Australia?
Like, they have to get rid of some of these.
Like it's clearly
like...
like...
are getting closed down for some reason, though, like a few of them.
So,
but why?
I mean, it depends, not getting enough
stuff
traffic.
In Queensland's going, fucking Sydney,
who knows?
They have one or something?
No idea.
I guess they're closing down for one?
Who knows? But there was meant to be like a Disneyland Australia like years ago, and it never went through. They ended up doing the Singapore one or something. Where would they put it, though? They could put it anywhere.
Yeah, but we might have to be central so everyone can just...
Yeah, it would be most probably in Sydney or Melbourne.
Victoria.
Or something like that, yeah.
Somewhere.
Which kind of sucks, because I would
love... in the middle of Australia, like in the fucking desert.
Like, if they had a Disneyland in Australia, like, I would just go to that one thing, like, all the time. Like, I would happily travel somewhere in Australia. Like, I don't like the idea that I have to travel overseas to, like... I mean, it's cool, like, if I'm going to want to travel to one, I want to go to Japan.
Yeah, but you only want to go there once, unless you've got kids, and then you can go,
well,
like,
they're
every
massive.
year or two.
Well, Disneyland's very massive, so it takes you, like, a week to go through everything, usually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what they say when you go to, like, any of the Disneylands, you got to spend a week there, because if you want to do everything, it takes at least a week to experience crazy, everything. It's like, what? So...
I don't think it's, like, the size. It's more of there's a lot of shit in there.
There is a lot of shit. That's why I always think it's funny when it's just like, come to SeaWorld and stay at the resort. It's just like, you go to the resort, you stay there for like a week. You don't even need to go theme park once, and it's like you've done everything. Like,
Yeah, I have heard that.
it's like you don't need to go multiple times. It's just
And
like,
the
what?
one in Queensland, you go for a day.
Yeah. Like, all the ones are
Even
just...
then, you don't do everything. Like you do what you want to do.
Yeah, but you can nearly fit and basically fit everything in the one day.
I wanted to go to that Joker ride though. That looks so good.
Oh, the Arkham one that they shut down? Or the other bigger one?
When I was at 2019 October,
Something like
there
that.
was like a Joker roller coaster.
The pink
It
purple
looked
one?
fucking dope. Mm.
Yeah, that's still open.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's the
Oh.
big one. There's the other one, which is the
That was
the
just
old
down
Arkham
where I
one.
was staying. That was just down the road.
The old Arkham one they had that shut down, which was the old Lethal Weapon ride. They shut
Yeah.
that down, sadly enough. But
Happens though. They got to get new
does.
ones in.
it does, yeah.
Yeah.
But
The Joker one
anyway.
looks dope. Fucking high, like.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Have you laughs? Gone around, have you laughs?
Good run. Have you laughs?
But anyway, I think we'll I think we'll wrap up the podcast there before we hit the 2 hour mark.
Hey, 2 hours, not bad.
Not bad. We've done pretty good this time.
Right? Right?
But I'll leave it to
We didn't say
you.
it's going to be a short one. That's why.
We did keep
Oh,
talking.
actually, I didn't. But yeah. But what's low? But yes. Thank you, Beardies and Beardettes, for listening on episode, what, 46?
Something like that, yeah, 46, yeah.
46, man. Episode 81, technically. But yeah, we've been Dale and Jim. We hope you had fun. And we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Good soup.
Pen drop.
The pen drop, mic drop, leave.
Bye.
What an episode.
What an episode. 81.
Oh no, I forgot to click record.
That would have been fucking funny. Because I wouldn't be doing that again.
We'll just forget about that then.
I thought you were being serious then for a
I
second.
was wondering how serious I could get you.
When you just went silent, I'm like, oh fuck, he didn't.
Oh.
Round 2, let's go.
I thought you
Go for it again.